Hello, 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 good people. Hello, 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 good people. Something's hiding my. Okay, there we go. Hello, 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 good people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Akiela Galore, aka your privileged black girl. This is your privileged black girl. As you can see by the title of today's video, we're going to be doing a smoke, sip, and read. That is what this live is about. It is a smoke, sip, and read. Hello, Willie Matthews. Shout out to Willie Matthews for being a member of the channel. Shout out to Willie Matthews for being a member of the channel. Willie, I would love to have your feedback as a member of the channel. What would you like to see from me? What would you like to know? Put it in the comments. Let me know. You are a member of the channel, and I want to make sure that I'm catering to you. So, yeah, today's live is all about reading this book. I have had this book for quite some time, and I want to finish it. No trolling today. I'm just sitting here reading. If you would like to sit here and listen to me read the rest of this book, you can do so, but I am not trolling today. I am literally going to read this book and log off. Okay, so this is the Old Money book, How to Live Better While Spending Less, Secrets of America's Upper Class by Byron Tilley. This is a bit of a social experiment because I want to see, when I get on live, I get more attention when I'm wilding out. And people don't think I have substance. But today I'm just going to sit and read. So I'm starting on page 58. And page 58 starts at family and marriage. Hey, Classy 137. Hey, girl. Hey. So I am reading this book right here. If you've been watching me for a while, then you know I started reading this book a few months back, and then I stopped and paused. So or a couple months back. I am on page 58. If you would like to listen, I am going to read. If you have the book and you want to follow along, I am on page 58, titled Family and Marriage. Thank you, Lena. Titled Family and Marriage, A Happy Family is But an Earlier Heaven. End quote, George Bernard Shaw. Thank you, Classy 137. So I'm going to proceed to read for the audience because that's the only thing I want to get up here and do. I want to finish this book. It has 142 pages left. It has 142 pages total, and I am on page 58. So the goal is to finish the book. That is the goal, to finish this book during this live. So let's get to reading. Family and marriage. A quote, a happy family is but an earlier heaven. End quote, George Bernard Shaw. The success of the marriage and the success of the family unit is the sixth core of old. Damn. The success of the marriage and the success of the family unit is the sixth core value of old money, but it may be the single most important one. Divorce, domestic violence, drug and alcohol abuse, unplanned pregnancy, spoiled or maladjusted children, these are deadly to old money or money of any age. Nobody knows what's going to happen when they get married, but there are things old money does to tilt the odds of happiness and success in their favor. Consider these as you contemplate marriage and family. Old money marries later in life and marries once. Chemistry is important, but shared values are more important. Chemistry will come and go, but shared values, like the ones documented in this book, where a couple is going and what behavior is acceptable, those keep people together. Old money couples have a very clear idea about what their lives and future are supposed to be like. Not because their parents had money and they have money, but because their parents had a common set of values and they have a common set of values. They also have clear expectations about their lives together. Things change as life goes on, But these shared values and expectations remain and keep couples on the same track. Old money is never in a rush to get married. You shouldn't be either. If you truly believe your love is eternal, why not date for a while? A 3-year engagement is good. It gives you time to see how the other person reacts to life's ups and downs. It gives you time to go through things as a couple. People can change in unexpected ways. A long engagement gives you both the opportunity to experience these changes, assess them, and adjust to them. And feel free not to announce your engagement to the world. It takes the social pressure off making a decision to end the relationship if things don't go according to plan. While you're engaged, you can simply say to friends and family, "We're dating each other exclusively right now." Get feedback. It's not just in the movies. When a single, old money person begins to get even remotely serious about a potential mate, the potential mate is scrutinized intensely by old money friends and the old money family. Suspicion or disapproval usually ends things quickly. Once you start dating someone who may be a potential mate, you should introduce them to your friends and family too. If your friends and family do not like the prospective spouse, that may be a signal that something is amiss, either with them or the potential spouse. Have the courage to ask, in private, candid questions about any misgivings they might have about the person you are dating. Do not react to their responses, which may be painful to hear. Listen, consider, then make your choices. It is often said that you don't just marry your spouse, you marry the family. Keep that in mind. Gents, be smart about the ring. If you are under the illusion perpetrated by the diamond industry that you should spend 3 times your monthly salary on your bride's engagement or wedding ring, snap out of it. It's not a pissing contest, it's a relationship. It's also the first major financial decision you're going to make as you start your life together. Don't blow it by paying retail for a piece of jewelry. If your chosen one requires a ring that she knows is beyond your means, weigh that. Consumers never have enough, and there may be self-esteem issues she or you needs to address. Ladies, if you absolutely must have something large and sparkling to show your girlfriends and the world, snap out of it. It's the start of a life together, not a fairy tale. If your chosen one feels like he has to buy you an expensive ring, even if he cannot afford it, weigh that. Being financially responsible is a habit, and it takes 2 to make a successful marriage. Everybody, be smart about the wedding. At the time of this writing, the average wedding in America costs $30,000. This spending by mostly the middle class occurs during a time when consumer debt, student loans, unemployment, and recession run rapid. Old money is bewildered at this kind of behavior. Consider saving the money that would have been spent on a lavish wedding. Use it wisely for the benefit of the newlyweds and their children. Student loans can be eliminated or greatly reduced. Conservative investments can be made to form the initial nest egg for a young couple, reducing the stress of potential unemployment or making it possible for them to pursue a passion while underemployed. Is the bride or groom an artist or musician? Money can be set aside for continuing education to boost the bride or groom's career and income earning potential in the future. Could the bride or groom benefit from having an MBA? If both the bride and groom are educated on solid financial ground and happy with their careers, A trust fund can be set up for the education of their children who haven't even been born yet. Have candid conversations about the wedding particulars. Have candid conversations about the wedding particulars and financial priorities with the future in-laws. If you or anyone in your family believe there absolutely must be a lavish, talk of the town fairy tale wedding in order to fulfill some fantasy and make someone's life complete, ask why. Okay, so as I continue to read this, I'm not going to look at the comments. I'm just reading because I got distracted. But if you're watching the playback of this, again, we're on page 60 of the book. We're going to continue to read, and I'm going to start at, actually, we're on page 61. And the last sentence: if both the bride and the groom are educated on solid financial ground and happy with their careers, a trust fund can be set up for the education of their children who haven't even been born yet. Have candid conversations about the wedding particulars and financial priorities with the future in-laws. If you or anyone in your family believe there absolutely must be a lavish, talk of the town fairy tale wedding in order to fulfill some fantasy and make someone's life complete, ask why. Is this about the bride and groom or some perceived position in the community? Whom do you wish to impress? At what price? Newlyweds, do you want an impressive wedding or do you want a life together? A wedding lasts a day or 3 in some cultures. A life together, by definition, lasts a lifetime. And how a young couple starts their lives together can make a world of difference. Old money is prepared, emotionally and financially, to make a commitment. You should be too. You should think it through. Emotions are powerful. So is rent. Numerous honest and articulate discussions about making a life together never hurt any couple. If the passion cools considerably in the hard light of day, weigh that. If thinking and planning a future together reasonably and thoughtfully only ignites more passion, you may have chosen the right mate. With all due respect to everyone's religious beliefs, use birth control. Nothing strains a relationship or sidetracks a couple's progress like an unexpected pregnancy, married or not. Pregnancy changes everything, and the younger and less established a couple is, the more drastic the changes will be. Finances are the most obvious source of strain, but an unplanned pregnancy can put hopes, dreams, education, and careers on the back burner or out of reach altogether. This can foster resentment, unhappiness, and ultimately a separation or divorce. Plan. If you are just starting out, have children later in life, ask yourself, who is more prepared to be a parent, an 18-year-old or a 28-year-old? Have fewer children or don't have any at all. The planet is a finite place and the world population is growing at an incredible rate. Closer to home, if you and your partner are struggling to care for one child, don't have another. It's that simple. Nothing keeps families in poverty like continuous pregnancies that a family has not planned for. And if you don't have any children, the world will not come to an end. Old money families have clear boundaries, for this means keeping extended family in their place. Well-intentioned relatives can come on strong when a couple first gets married or has their first child. Be grateful for their love and support, but draw the line with meddling. Be polite when you communicate the boundaries to relatives. Be firm. Be polite when you communicate the boundaries to relatives, but be firm. You and your partner and your child are the immediate family unit now, as well as part of a bigger family unit. Make your own rules and solve your own problems. Go to relatives for help and advice only as a last resort. Anything unflattering that you tell your parents about your spouse will be held against them, the spouse, for a very long time, perhaps forever. Even after the difficult time has passed and you've returned to marital bliss, your parents will remember what you told them, so don't tell them anything but good things. An example. Jack. Okay, let's read the example, but before we read the example, I'm going to take a sip of wine. Okay, so here's the example. Jack, who aspires to be owed money, has just graduated from college. He is in his early 20s. He has student loans to pay off. While still living at home with his parents, he finds a job. It does not pay as well as he'd hope, but there is opportunity for advancement, and that's what he's looking for. Instead of immediately going out, renting an apartment, and racking up a host of monthly living expenses, Jack sits down with his parents and has a heart-to-heart conversation. He tells them that he wants to remain at home for the next year or two. His reasons are twofold. He wants to pay down his student loan as well as save money. He does a budget and shares it with them. He offers his parents a fair amount of money to cover his food and utilities while he lives at home. He itemizes how much he's going to pay on his student loan each month. He itemizes how much he's going to put in the bank each month and not take out for any reason. And he also mentions that he plans on taking one weekend per month and going out of town or at least out of the house to give them a respite. His parents, impressed by his forethought, agree. They ask only that he pay for his groceries and not play the drums after 10 p.m. Wink, nod. They also agree to certain house rules. Jack's an adult, but it's their home, and they'll communicate often and honestly on a regular basis about how the living arrangement is working. 18 months later, Jack has reduced his student loan debt substantially. He has also managed to accumulate a very nice cash nest egg for his future. He did not use credit cards. He stayed under budget. He did not have to pay rent. And, oh yes, Jack got a promotion at work. Now he has options. He can double down on his student loan payments. He can move into a one-bedroom apartment and still save money and pay off his debt. Or he can decide to live at home another 6 months and really save money. During this time, Jack has met Jill. Jill is also living with her parents and starting her career as an artist. Her income is not as steady or as substantial as Jack's, but her potential as an artist is strong. It's also what she loves to do. Her uncle is an OMG, and she learned about money and work from him. Jack and Jill agree on a 3-year engagement. This will give Jack time to improve his position financially, and it will also give Jill time to pursue her career as an artist. They will not get pregnant. They will not purchase a ridiculous engagement ring to impress anyone. We don't repeat things because we're forgetful. We repeat things because you're forgetful. They will reduce their respective debt. Actually, I need to read that over because I think I'm... Okay, so they said they will not get pregnant. Got it. They will not purchase a ridiculous engagement ring to impress anyone. Then they put in parentheses, it says, we don't repeat things because we're forgetful. We repeat things because you're forgetful. Interesting. They will reduce their respective debt and save as much as they can. They will enjoy life. They will be in love. By the time they marry, Jack will have been promoted again. His student loan debt may be paid off. He will have a very, very nice nest egg. Jill's art will be selling and generating income. In addition to her day job, they will have their modest wedding in her uncle's backyard. It's big enough. Wink, nod. They will leave on their honeymoon more financially sound than many of their peers, and they will not be 30 years old. They will not yet be 30 years old. Many readers might scoff at this scenario as unrealistic, but Italians, Indians, and Iranians have been doing it for generations with admirable results. Helpful hints. Look at her mother. That's how she's going to look in 30 years. Look at how he treats his siblings. That's how he's going to treat you in 3 years. If you would not consider marrying someone, do not date them. Do not rely on luck or promises to avoid pregnancy or disease. Use a condom. If you, your future spouse, or your family is not rich, keep the wedding simple and inexpensive. If you have doubts about the marriage immediately before the ceremony, do not marry. If you cannot afford to be married, do not marry. When you marry, it's a partnership. Continue dating after you marry. Look nice. Send flowers. Light candles. Do not discuss your spouse's faults with others. This makes you look stupid for marrying them. Do not discuss your sex life with anyone but your partner or a professional therapist. When you consider infidelity, you are not playing with fire. You are playing with dynamite. Avoid ultimatums. Laugh. For reference, 1001 Questions to Ask Before You Get Married by Monica Mendez. Leah is a fun and revealing source for couples about to embark on the big adventure, the relationship, the one with your spouse. Okay, we are moving on to the next section, which is privacy. If you are watching the playback, then I'm going to continue to read. I will not be commentating, but I just want to make sure that the people who are watching me live right now understand exactly what's going on. I will proceed with the next section, which is called privacy. Thank you all so much for listening. Privacy. Quote, I made a hell of a lot of money and a hell of a lot of mistakes, but all before the internet came along. Thank God. End quote. That quote is from OMG from Boston, still wishes to remain anonymous. Again, this section is called privacy. Page 66. Page 67. The final and perhaps most important core value of old money is privacy. It has been said that old money individuals who live appropriately have their names in the newspapers 3 times: when they are born, when they marry, and when they die. In contrast, contemporary American culture is fame obsessed, and it appears that the disease is contagious. The public equates fame with accomplishment, even accepting the acquisition of fame as an accomplishment unto itself. The internet has convinced people that others really care about what they do all day, that their opinions are worth considering, and that having opportunity and ability to share information means that it should be shared. We don't. They aren't, and you shouldn't. Old money lives discreetly. There are reasons for this. Discretion minimizes resentment from others. It minimizes requests for financial assistance from friends, relatives, and strangers. It minimizes attention from criminals, as well as would-be suitors who wish to marry into money. It assists in developing and maintaining healthy friendships with others who may have less money. The lack of conspicuous consumption and haughty behavior helps old money and the public hold focus. The focus being that we are all human beings. We are all citizens of our particular city, nation, and the world. While we may have more or less resources than others, we walk the same streets and can or detract from the overall quality of life behavior. We do this in ways large and small. Old money knows this. Old money remembers this. Old money knows that sometimes, like it or not, look to it to set an example, to set a standard, to deal with good fortune and bad with equanimity. Old money knows that this is mostly easily done by with an eye on work, family, and friends, and not fame. Old money may enter the entertainment industry or play professional sports. When it does, it usually excels at its endeavors. Poise and privacy are maintained. Family background is omitted or obscured whenever possible. The focus remains on the work, and when the show or the game is over, old money goes home. Old money saying, to live well, live in secret. Make no mistake, old money lives well. It knows the wisdom and tranquility of not having everyone know everything. It knows how impressive it is when someone has done much and said little, if anything, about their accomplishments. In matters of the heart, it is best to keep your affairs confidential. Do not kiss and tell. It will inevitably get back to the person in question. Such betrayals are almost impossible to repair. The number of people you have slept with is not an accomplishment to be proud of for either sex. Do text messages and explicit photos need to be discussed? In matters of finance, it is also best to keep your affairs confidential. Money is discussed with your family in private or with professionals such as a CPA or money manager. It is uncouth to discuss your net worth, income, material possessions, or career position in a social setting. The only thing worse is discussing someone else's. Both scenarios reek of insecurity and tell the world you are a recent arrival to the moneyed class or an imposter. If someone asks you a question you are not comfortable answer, you have options. You may say, "That's an interesting question. Why do you ask?" When they tell you why they want to know, you will have a clearer picture about their intentions and can decide on how to respond, if you decide to respond at all. I'm sorry, that's not something I want to discuss. Is a solid rock. Is a solid stock reply. Or, I'm sorry, I can't answer that. Then stop talking. Change the subject or excuse yourself politely and walk away. I like that. That's T. That's T right there. That's T. I like that. Let's do that one again. Okay, if you're watching a playback, I'm going to say it again because I like that. That's T. It's very nice, nasty, but it's professional. But we're reading a book, so we can get the information from the book, okay? If someone asks you a question you are not comfortable answering, you have options. This goes for me. I talk a lot. You may say, "That's an interesting question. Why do you ask?" When they tell you why they want to know, you will have a clearer picture about their intentions and can decide on how to respond if you decide to respond at all. "I'm sorry, that's not something I discuss," is a solid stock reply. Or, "I'm sorry, I can't answer that." Then stop talking. change the subject, or excuse yourself politely and walk away. Some clever people may ask, "What did you say you do for a living?" And when they know full well you haven't mentioned it, feel free to say, "I didn't." Americans have a bad habit of asking people what they do for a living upon an initial introduction. A good response to this is to keep your reply vague by saying, "I'm in the entertainment business," and continue by saying, "But my real passion is Egyptian history." Chances are the person will take the hint and ask you about Egyptian history. You can touch briefly, and then ask them about their passion or interests. Maintaining your privacy can be simple. Don't talk about it. Don't put it in writing. Don't post it on the internet. Helpful hints. If anyone tells you they're owed money, they're not. Run. Don't walk away. If anyone tells you they're owed money, they're not. Run. Don't walk away. Quote, "Wow, I knew they had money, but I had no idea they had that much money." End quote. This is a frequent comment about people who suddenly realize their friends are owed money. If you discover that your friend is owed money, never mention it to your friend or anyone else. To do so risks the friendship. Be more, seem less. A secret is not something you tell one person at a time. I think some of y'all need to hear that shit again. A secret is not something you tell one person at a time. The personal information and photos you've posted online are there forever. The personal information and photos you've posted online are there forever. This is something to consider when you think about new relationships, college applications, and job applications. Fame is like wearing a fur coat 365 days a year. And if you don't think it's fleeting, pick up a 2-year-old copy of your favorite tabloid. Fame is like wearing a fur coat 365 days a year. And if you don't think it's fleeting, pick up a 2-year-old copy of your favorite tabloid. You cannot control fame. You can control privacy. Don't do anything for the approval of anyone else, especially the public. Be careful what you share with others. Be careful who you invite into your residence. It's difficult for others to disrupt, sabotage, or voice their opinions about something they don't know about. Mystery is the new black. Conversation is also the new black. One poorly timed comment or action in public can destroy a reputation built over decades. Watching television is not preferable, but it is preferable to being watched by television. Watching television is not preferable, but it is preferable to being watched by television. Just because someone with a microphone or camera asks you a question does not mean that you are required to answer. Get off Facebook. Get out. Spend time with real friends, face to face. Talk. Do not gossip. When someone else starts to, excuse yourself and step away. If you can, do not have your actual home address on your driver's license. If you can, do not have your home address printed on your checks. Use a mail drop or post office box. That's T. That's T. That's T. That's T. That's T. If you can, do not have your actual home address on your driver's license. If you can, do not have your home address printed on your checks. Use a mail drop or post office box. If you are in a high profile or controversial line of work, consider having cards printed with only your name and email address, perhaps a mobile number on it. Give it to people you meet in social settings instead of your business card. I hope you all are enjoying the book thus far. We are going to end the chapter of privacy and we're moving on to the next section, which is called How Old Money Does It. We're on page 73 at this time. It's titled How Old Money Does It. We are going to proceed with reading. This is where we're headed. I am enjoying reading to you all. From my peripheral vision, I can see the chat going wild. I am not going to pay attention to the chat right now because I am focused on reading and staying in this energy of cultivating a vibe where we're talking about old money and what old money people do. So if you're watching the playback, please take this time to enjoy this light up session with me. I'm going to light my blunt. I'm going to take another sip of my wine. If you hear me constantly like kissing my lips and kissing my teeth, it is because the wine is so sweet and savory. It has a hint of dryness to it, but it is a bit savory, and I can feel the flavor going to the bottom of my jawline. So it makes me kiss my jawline, it makes me kiss my teeth, it makes me suck on the succulent flavor of the wine. It tastes like fresh grapes that are really crisp. So pardon me as I enjoy the Tuesday, August 26th at 2:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time of sitting here, sipping my wine, smoking my blunt, and reading to you all. And I am loving it. Thank you so much. I know there are so many sides to who I am. There's like this side where I am being very pleasant. And we're going to keep it this way today. Today is a good day. Today we're going to be present, positive, passionate, you know? Okay. Let's see if we can smoke and read. Or get out loud anyway. Because I can smoke and read in my mind, but I'm reading to you, so. How Old Money Does It. Page 74. I'm going to put the blunt down. Sometimes you need to put the blunt down. You might take a puff or two, but you got to put the blunt down. You can't hold the blunt all the time, you know. Not all the time. But this was my vibe today. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I don't know. I love smoke my blunt though. I feel like I get back to a work shift. Right now I feel like I stepped out back at work to smoke a cigarette right quick. And I just I ain't got that much time because I'm really in the weeds at the restaurant. And I need to get back inside. But goddamn, the blunt tastes good. So I want to hit it. Okay, I'm gonna put it out. Alright. You gotta have a sense of humor. You can't, go through life intense all the time and angry. Laugh at yourself. Enjoy your life. Let's get back to it. Alright. Now we are on page 74 of the book. This section is titled Attire. Quote, "What a strange power there is in clothing." End quote. Isaac Bashevis Singer. Isaac, if you're listening to me, I messed up your middle name. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say it. Bashevis. My bad, B-Doll. Nothing tells others more about you than the way you dress. You can deride the statement as a symptom of a superficial world, but that does not change the fact that it is true. Clothes protect us from the elements and prevent us from being arrested for public indecency. They are also a means of expression. Your profession, your aspirations, your background, your self-image, all of this and more are expressed to others by your clothes. Others will, upon first encountering you, take a visual inventory of your appearance and consciously or subconsciously assign certain personality traits and values to you, whether you possess them or not. This will work to your advantage or disadvantage, depending on the way you dress. Clothes are used to convey authority and sexual prowess, as well as financial position and social status. They reveal what culture or class we belong to or desire to belong to. Therefore, to understand old money, you must understand how it dresses and why. For old money, what is worn is almost without exception what is appropriate to wear for a particular occasion. What looks good, i.e., classic, timeless style, and what is comfortable. Clothing is generally not worn to call attention to oneself. Discretion is paramount. Fashion is to be avoided like the plague. Classic styles and natural fabrics form a roster of reliable, top quality garments that constitute the majority of the old money wardrobe. Value, comfort, and the quality are the watchwords here. An old money saying, it should take someone 5 minutes to realize that you're well dressed. An old money saying, and they got it in bold letters, it should take someone 5 minutes to realize that you're well dressed. Old money dresses in generally low-key way because they have no need or desire to call attention to the fact that they have money, status, or privilege. But that does not mean that they do not dress well. Quite the contrary. But there is a difference between dressing well and dressing fashionably. Everyone else buys the latest fashion, advertised in magazines, worn by the supermodels or celebrities. Everyone else pays retail for these garments of generally questionable quality. Everyone else is seduced by the bargains they see advertised. Generally, these goods are not of good quality and will be out of fashion next year. Everyone else's money will have been wasted or at the very least not used as well as it could have been. Note, cheap clothing purchased by many people has a negative global effect. Note, cheap clothing purchased by many people has a negative global impact. The working conditions and wages for people making a t-shirt that retails for $5 are almost always appalling. In fact, they are generally slave-like. Think about it. It's the only way to make a profit on an item sold at such a low retail price. Furthermore, the increase in the purchase of cheap clothing by Western populations influenced farmers in developing countries. They stop growing food to feed themselves and their local communities and start growing cotton to sell to mills and garment manufacturers. As cotton is the most pesticide-intensive crop in the world, cheap clothing made from it impacts the environment as well. Old money, on the other hand, buys quality clothes, traditionally styled, and wears them for decades. Old money dresses. Everybody else is dressed up or barely gets dressed at all. Old money always looks presentable. Shirts, blouses, skirts, and pants are pressed, well made, and well cared for. Shoes are worn. Oh, well made. Well, old money always looks presentable. Shirts, blouses, skirts, and pants are pressed, well made, and well cared for. Shoes are worn. Hair is combed and clean. A certain benchmark is met, even in the most casual of settings. If you dress like old money, no one will really notice how you dress. No one will know how much money you have or don't have. They will only assume that you have taste and discretion. Not bad things to be known for. Wink, nod. Attire for the old money guy. That's the next title. It's not the next section, but this is the next title in the next section. Attire for the old money guy. Entire books have been written for men about dressing well. Print magazines and the internet are full of advice. There are discussions of fabrics, colors, collar styles, and lapel widths. In other instances, they are just a not so subtle form of advertising and ignorant chatter. Following Madison Avenue's ever-changing advice on fashion can be too expensive and time-consuming for the man who may be or should be committing his resources and attention elsewhere. Following old money's advice, which is most often conveyed by example, will serve a man well, whether he's just starting out or starting over. The old money guy focuses on quality and value, simplicity and comfort. This starts with shoes. Quality shoes in brown or black are the foundation, literally, of an enduring wardrobe. Consider Allen Edmonds shoes, which are made in America, generally that was a nasty burp. Sorry, didn't want you to hear that. Consider Allen Edmonds shoes, which are made in America, generally traditional in style and durable. Lace-up wingtips or cap-toe shoes are suitable for business. Penny loafers are perfect for casual wear. You'll want cedar shoes trees for these, as they'll help retain the shape of the shoe, minimize the damage caused by moisture, and extend their life. Deck shoes, Sperry topsiders, are a staple for school or weekends with jeans or khakis. Sneakers should be worn when playing sports or during leisure activities only. When you're ready to buy clothes the way the OMG buys clothes, go to Brooks Brothers, Ralph Lauren, or J Press and explain your situation to a salesman there. Tell him you want to start or add to your wardrobe by purchasing quality items that will not go out of style. Then listen to him. Look at him. Is he dressed a traditional, classic style, or is he a preppy wannabe? Be circumspect. You may have $5,000 to spend or $500. The right salesperson will be willing to work with you and guide you. Do not be shy. Ask about upcoming sales or discounts. You're investing. Purchase slowly. Consider where and when you will wear each item you consider buying. Right now you're buying for every day or at least every week. Purchased for year-round. Wear when buying suits, jackets, or slacks if possible. A traditionally tailored solid navy or dark gray suit is a staple of the OMG wardrobe. Black is a little too severe and brown is more appropriate for sport coats. This suit will be worn for job interviews, work, religious services, elegant evening events, weddings, and funerals, other people's and your own. The style is such that it would not be noticeably different than something worn 50 years ago. Lapels and shoulders are neither too narrow or nor too wide. Pants are neither too slim or too baggy. The fabric is a year-round wool. The suit has a silk lining of a dark color. It will be only slightly tailored to your body by the tailor or Brooks Brothers, Ralph Lauren, or J. Press. If it needs serious tailoring, it's not the right size or it's not the right suit. If you find a quality suit at a discount or department store, be careful. Their tailors may not be up to the job. In all likelihood, you will need to find a tailor elsewhere to alter the suit jacket and pants you purchased off the rack. You will find this person in an old money neighborhood, probably in a small shop. For a small amount of money, he will make you and your suit look good. The price and or quality range for an off-the-rack suit at the above-mentioned establishment runs from a few $100s to a bespoke number from Anderson and Shepherd in London for several $1,000s. Yes, old money likes bespoke. Note: old money does not wear a business suit to an event designated black tie. A dinner jacket with a bow tie is worn to a black tie event. Very good tuxedos, as they are also known, are available to rent in most cities. You will need to acquire a formal shirt. It should be white with French cuffs. It will not have ruffles. If you wear a tuxedo less than 4 times a year, rent. If it's more than 4 times a year, consider a purchase. Rental houses have a good selection and put them on sale often. Retail establishments put them on sale just after the holidays. The jacket collar should be a shawl lapel or a peaked lapel, not a notched lapel, regardless of what anyone tells you. Only black shoes are worn with a tuxedo. The tuxedo is always black. Learn to tie a bow. Ladies love pulling the knot loose at the end of a wonderful evening. Wink nod. The long sleeve 100% cotton shirt with the suit is white or light blue. The shirts can be a pinpoint collar or a button-down collar for a slightly less formal looks. Brooks Brothers, Ralph Lauren, LL Bean, Lands' End, Mercer & Sons, Hamilton, and J. Press all make quality shirts at a variety of price points. Start with them. Develop your references, mind your budget, later on in life and success. Chevet in Paris makes the finest bespoke shirts in the world for the OMG that likes the luxury. The silk ties, wherever they come from, are navy blue. The most formal, a red or dark green, are a regimental striped with these colors. Avoid clever ties at this point, I beg you. The belt should match the shoes, black or brown. Be simple, cow leather. No big buckles, no exotic skins. Socks are navy, black, or brown. The go-to garment for the old money guy is the navy blazer. The blazer can be single or double-breasted. It is generally medium weight wool. It's slow to wrinkle. It's versatile, worn with khakis, wool slacks that are gray or tan, or jeans. It is welcome at garden parties, graduations, dinner at home or out, and many business functions. With a tie, you are dressed appropriately for almost any occasion. Worn without a tie, you are still well dressed. The shirts worn with this blazer are the same blue and white shirts worn with the suit. Brooks Brothers makes the iconic model. Quality blue blazers are made and sold the world over. Knock yourself out. Note: do not wear pants suits with a blazer. Other odd jackets that serve the OMG well include the brown or gray tweed for winter, the brown or navy corduroy for fall, and the wheat or blue linen sport coat for spring and summer. Cashmere is for sweaters and scarves only, not jackets, and is fundamental luxury later in life. The OMG washes and irons his own shirts. No starch, please. You, old chap, will wash the shirts and let them hang dry on wooden hangers if you really want them to last. Run them through the dryer for a softer feel, but be prepared for the accelerated wear if you do. Sweaters are either wool or cotton at this point. Navy blue is a safe start. Cardigan, V-neck, or crew neck. They are worn over the same white and blue cotton shirts that are worn with the suit and the blazer. Damn, they breaking this shit down, ain't it? Pullover polo shirts are 100% cotton in any color, but mostly solid colors are worn for casual events or weekends. These are preferable to t-shirts, which are technically underwear and last years longer. Ralph Lauren and Brooks Brothers make quality polos. A London fog trench coat and a Barber jacket will serve you well if you live in colder, wetter climates. Navy blue, tan, or brown. White, brown, tan, navy blue, cotton, wool, classic design, quality fabrics. Don't try to reinvent the wheel, as any attempt to do so would be made in public. Is the logic in all of the becoming apparent? Is the logic in all of this becoming apparent? The OMG gives others the impression by the way he dresses that he is reliable and intelligent, that he has taste, and that he has no need to impress. He enjoys the benefits of convenience, comfort, classic style, and saving money. Exceptions to the rules: turnball and Acer bespoke dress shirts and neckties in color combinations that will scorch the retina, but thankfully are worn under dark, conservative blazers and suit jackets by older OMGs. And moderate sports coats or pants, usually in an obnoxiously colorful check that can be seen from outer space, but thankfully only worn during the summer, usually by younger OMGs. Note: old money is to be preppy what an oil painting is to a cartoon. Note: the OMG wears a shirt. The belly of the OMG is seen by his spouse and his doctor unless he is wearing a bathing suit, which is worn at the beach or the pool only. When traveling, a shirt or a robe is worn going to and from the hotel swimming pool. Page 82, Grooming for Men is the title. Cleanliness is essential for old money. Fingernails are trimmed and clean. Hygiene is paramount. Body odor is unacceptable. Shaving is a ritual. Practice every workday and most weekends. Facial hair is tricky. Know thyself. Old money goes gray. Old money goes bald. Tattoos and piercings. If you have to ask, you're reading the wrong book. Jewelry for men. Wedding ring. Class ring from a university. Thin gold watch on leather strap. Maybe a stainless steel Rolex. Stop. For reference, Dressing the Man by Alan Foster is an excellent book on how to dress well. Its historic perspective and detail, almost encyclopedic volume of information leave nothing to chance. It also includes many fascinating photos of well-dressed old money men. Again, this book is called Dressing the Man by Alan Foster. The relationship. A local craftsman who can preserve and repair your shoes is needed. This includes repair and replacements of heels and soles, not just polishing. A local tailor who can alter and repair garments is needed. This tailor may also make bespoke clothing, which you may acquire later in life. Okay, that was for the old money guys. This is the attire for the old money gals. But before we start here, I was reading for the old money guys, but now I'm going to read for the old money gals. And this is going to be a very interesting one without intricate detail too. If you are a man and you want to know what I am reading the old money book, How to Live Better While Spending Less, Secrets of America's Upper Class by Tilly. I just got finished reading this section for the Attire for Old Money Men. It's this section that we're on is How Old Money Does It. We're on the How Old Money Does It is page 73. The chapter begins at page 73 in the book. The section that I began to read was Attire. The section I just finished reading was Attire for the Old Money Guy. And after I hit my blunt, I will go into the Attire for Old Money Gals. That is what I'm reading right now. That is what we're discussing right now. It is an enjoyable read. Thank you all so much for engaging in the comments. Thank you so much for liking the video. Thank you so much for being here and reading or listening with me as I read my book and I sip my wine. This is a smoke, sip, and read. As I do all three, I'm smoking, sipping, and reading. My mouth is getting dry. My mouth is getting dry as I continue to. I'm not gonna read the comments. I'm trying not. That is one thing my goal is to continue the book. My goal is to finish the rest of the book. I'm finishing the rest of the book. Not paying attention to the comments. For those of you watching the playback, I hope you enjoyed the intermission too. The intermission as you are smoking, reading, and sipping as I am. As I learn and obtain information as I read, what it's ultimately doing is stretching my brain to a new dimension, which I love. But it's also it's an awesome opportunity for you all to see a different side of me, which is, yes, I do get on here and troll with you all. Yes, I do get on here and cuss people out. Yes, it is very intentional. Yes, I do talk about your mom. I talk about your dad. I talk about all these things. But just like you, I'm multifaceted, and there are many parts of me that, as there are many parts of you. I don't believe that you're one-dimensional unless that's just who you are and show me who you are, and that's okay. But I want you to believe in yourself and know that you could be a better person and know that you could be versatile. You could be diversified. You could cuss people out and go to church. People do it every day. A lot of people in church because of people. I'm not promoting that. However, I just want you to know you can be yourself. The point of me telling you that is to be yourself. Don't let nobody judge you. Don't let nobody tell you who you need to be. Don't let nobody tell you who you are. You define who you are. You need to believe in yourself, and reading books definitely do open your mind to a large dimension, which is what I'm doing here with you all today. I wanted to try something different today. See how much attention I would garner for being positive, still being passionate about what I do, living in my purpose, reading to you, and showing you that, hey, I actually do read and you can read too. Reading is cool to me. Reading is sexy. Reading is intelligent. You know, reading is fundamental. Reading is like, it will take you to new. It just opens your vision, opens your brain, makes you excited about new things to come, creates. Inspiration is drawn from a book. So many things can come from reading. Like if you just take the time to sit and read. Me reading here with you all is making me feel good. So I'm going to continue to do it. Let's proceed. Attire for Old Money Gals. Okay, we're here. Attire for Old Money Gals. Women have historically placed more importance on their attire than men. Therefore, the simple and straightforward approach with which we addressed old money attire for men may be inadequate when we address old money attire for women. Nevertheless, it is important to note that old money gals, OMG again, go to Brooke Brothers or Ralph Lauren, purchase Oxford clothing, button-down dress shirts, wool or cotton sweaters, wool or khaki pants and skirts, and blue blazers that mirror their male counterparts and look just fine in them. They wear this with they wear this style with complete confidence, contentment, and aplomb from cradle to grave and never give it a second thought. If you can dress this way and feel good about it, do so. You'll save money in the long run. In a world with so many chase after the latest trend to stand out from the crowd, ironically, you could be viewed as having a unique style. That said, some OMGs require a little more conventional flair in their wardrobe, but they still adhere to classic styles, quality fabrics of cotton, silk, and wool, and well-made garments purchased at reasonable prices. For them, too, garments are purchased and worn for decades without concern for fashion. Designer labels hold no sway over them. They search for a quality garment at a good price, period. They know where, when, and how often they will wear a price. They know where, when, and how often they will wear a piece prior to purchasing it. They buy classic pieces and know that most everything they have can be worn with most everything else. Inevitably, some pieces will, over time, become dated. Old money gals donate these items to their favorite charity, get a receipt for the donation, and write it off on their taxes. For OMGs working outside the home, the first order of wardrobe business is the business suit. The suit is conservatively cut, made of a year-round wool that is slow to wrinkle, and is best in navy blue, charcoal gray, or black. The shoulders are not excessively padded. The skirt is just below the knee, preferred, or barely above it. If the skirt has a slit to make it more comfortable, the slit is in the back, not on the thigh. A similar suit composed of a jacket and pants may be worn, depending on the occupation of the culture, but this is a more casual business suit. When in doubt, to the conservative. Later in life, you may have the option of owning a classic Chanel suit, which OMGs positively wear in the ground. Later in life, you may have the option of owning a classic Chanel suit, which OMGs positively wear into the ground. The business suit is worn with a white blouse made of cotton or silk, which may be long sleeve or short sleeve. The formal is a long sleeve blouse. The blouse should be cut and worn as not to reveal cleavage. The pantyhose worn with the suit are a neutral color, navy or black, and do not attract undue attention. No comments will be made on fishnet stockings. The shoes worn with the business suits, white blouse, and conservative hose are simple, classic, mid-height leather pumps of navy blue or black with a closed toe. Another business option for women is a pair of wool or linen slacks, cotton or silk blouse, and a wool or linen blazer. Again, the slacks are best in navy blue, black, brown, charcoal, tan, and dark green. White is for summer, unless it's winter white, and is not for generational acceptable and is not generally acceptable in a business setting. So they're saying that the white summer, it says white is for summer unless it's a winter white, and it's not generally acceptable in a business setting. Blouses should be a solid color with white and light blue leading the way. The wool or linen blazer is tan, brown, or navy blue. The go-to garment for the old money gal is the classic black dress. It is a one-piece garment of a classic style, usually a scoop neck or sleeveless with or without a belt. It is never too short or too tight. It looks great and works well for a number of functions. It is worn by the OMG at the festive cocktail parties, somber funerals, and opera festival or somber, and elegant dinners in or out. A colorful shawl or black jacket can be thrown around the shoulders. A string of inherited pearls or often seen around the neck. A string of inherited pearls is often seen around the neck. Black pumps with a medium high heel finish off the look. The OMG wears it and rests easy. She looks good. So will you. Wink nod. Again, the old money gal leans towards Ralph Lauren and Brooks Brothers for clothing for the same reason the old money guy does. The clothes are good, quality, and never go out of style. If you're just starting out or starting over, consider building your wardrobe with these two establishments in mind. You may have limited funds, so there's no sense wasting them on less than quality garments that may look dated or wear out before their time. Watch for sales and find the location of the outlet stores in your areas. Stores like Banana Republic, The Gap, and Nordstrom follow the whims of fashion to an extent, but they have classic quality clothing available as well. It's just a matter of finding the right piece at the right time. It's just a matter of finding the right piece at the right price. Ask yourself, could this item have been worn 50 years ago and still looked good? Is the quality such that I should be wearing this item 50 years from now? If your answer to this 50-50 question is yes on both counts, you may have found a great addition to your wardrobe. Shoes, purses, belts, and scarves are the time-tested way to inject life into the same basic outfits. Save your money and watch diligently for top quality classic pieces that are on sale. Your shoes, purses, and belts should be leather, not something that might be leather in its next life. Your scarves should be silk, not synthetic fabric. Thrift stores or charity shops adjacent to affluent neighborhoods are great places to pick these up at bargain prices. Find and frequent these stores often, but keep your budget in mind. For those living in colder climates, a full-length wool coat in a classic style and solid color, again think navy blue, gray, or black, is essential. A classic trench coat is too. Consider London's Fog iconic model. Leather boots in black or brown are also essential. When you consider a pair, think about ice, snow, and gravity and stick with a low heel. Wink nod. Ankle boots are great, but boots that cover the calf will keep you warm when you're making the daily commute in a wool skirt. Keep the embellishments such as buckles and designs to minimum on these boots. They are to keep your legs and feet warm and dry. For weekends and casual events, polo shirts and Oxford cotton shirts worn with conservatively cut jeans, khakis, and cottons or linen skirts serve the OMG well. The shirts can be fitted or loose according to the taste and the event. In the winter, turtleneck sweaters and corduroy pants abound. The black turtleneck with the black wool pants is an easy and iconic winter look and great for holiday parties. Exceptions to the rule: vibrant and colorful patterned blouse paired with solid colored pants or the other way around. These look fabulous in the spring and summer. Wear sneakers and athletic apparel only when you are exercising. Grooming for women. We're on page 87. We're in this section of grooming for women. Your hair should be cut and styled simple so that your look your best with a minimum of daily effort. You don't say. Let me read that again for you all. Your hair should be cut and styled simple so that you look your best with a minimum of daily effort. If you color your hair, the color should closely match your natural color. This means you may be a brunette, blonde, or a redhead, but not a blue or purple head. The older you get, the shorter you should wear your hair. You don't fucking say. I can't believe they fucking say this. Okay, wait. Let me get it together. I've been drinking. That's all I wanted to drink while I wanted to drink while I read because I've been drinking. Okay. The older you get, the shorter you should wear your hair. Color, condition, and cut your hair on a regular basis. Do not let yourself go. Your makeup should consist of a little mascara, a little eyeshadow, and a little lipstick. Stop there. Foundations and roots look artificial and can clog the pores. If you want rosy cheeks, exercise daily. If you want clear, clean, and healthy skin, cut out the fast food, coffee, soft drinks, and cigarettes. Use organic castor oil that is cold pressed and cold processed. Apply it to your face nightly. It will minimize wrinkles and pull the blood to the surface of the skin, creating a natural and healthy glow. No amount of makeup in the world will compensate for the destructive lifestyle and excess stress. To look good, live good. I like that. Protect your skin. Moisturize with natural products that are not necessarily expensive. Moisturize from the inside out. Take essential oils as dietary supplements when you take your vitamins. Dry brush your entire body. This removes dead skin and increases cardiovascular function as it pulls the blood to the surface. Go easy on the cosmetic surgery. Limit your exposure to the sun. Overexposure causes wrinkles and can lead to disease. Jewelry for women. Less is more. Less is more. Less is more. This is not a typographical error. If you are married, a simple wedding band in 18 karat gold or platinum speaks volumes. If you have the cash, consider a Cartier tank watch that will last you a lifetime. Use models as available in resale shops and online at surprisingly affordable prices. The simpler, the better. The iconic model has a white face, black Roman numerals, and black leather strap. It's more impressive if each piece of jewelry has a story behind it. This gives each piece meaning to you when you wear it and to others when they ask about it. A Cartier watch might have been purchased at an antique shop during your first trip to Florence. An old gold ring might have been inherited from a beloved aunt. Adopting this strategy regarding jewelry will curb consumer-style spending at retail establishments and help you see each piece of jewelry as a touchstone for a memory, not a display of disposable income. Memories take time to accumulate and have value. So should jewelry. When you or your spouse are ready to seriously accumulate quality pieces of jewelry, do not pay retail for new jewelry at brand establishments who advertise in newspapers, magazines, and on television. You will be paying for what that advertising as well as premium retail overhead when you buy the ring, necklace, earrings, or pendant. If you feel compelled to ignore this advice, then please go to Tiffany and purchase something simple and platinum that's within your budget. If you're not going to inherit pieces of jewelry, which is always preferable, wink nod, seek out reputable family-owned dealers in small shops who sell antique and estate jewelry in your area or in an affluent area near you. You may also want to investigate auctions being conducted in your area, a topic which is covered in detail in the Furnishings section of this book. You will get much more for your money buying estate pieces than buying new at retail. If you consider purchasing pre-owned jewelry from a private party, take precautions. Quality counterfeit goods are sold everywhere by a variety of reputable looking people. Agree with the seller to have the piece of jewelry verified for authenticity by a reputable estate jeweler in your area. It's a good idea to get a referral, visit a shop, and develop a relationship with a dealer prior to considering a purchase. This practice will save you plenty of heartache, even if the seller is a friend. They might not even know themselves that the piece they are selling is not genuine. This could double your trouble. When you have been very successful and you begin to consider high quality watches for you or your spouse, keep the best company. The short list of watch brands which can be purchased, used, which can hold or increase in value over time includes Rolex, Cartier, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, IWC, Chopard, and Breguet. In keeping with the old money philosophy, please have your family's financial future set before investing heavily in jewelry. Purchased correctly and properly maintained, these timepieces can be worn with pleasure, then handed down to the next generation. Note: each ear may be pierced once in order to hold earrings. Nothing else should be pierced or tattooed, no matter how socially acceptable you may think it is or where it is located on your body. Helpful hints. I am on page 90, helpful hints, under the section helpful hints. If you think the Oxford cloth button-down shirt is too conservative for your taste, try a white one-on and turn the sleeves up and collar up. Look in the mirror. Well, wink nod. Unless you are wearing a bathing suit and you are at the beach or the swimming pool, your stomach should not be visible. Your pants should not reveal the crack of your butt or your underwear. Your skirt should not be too short, and we all know how to measure that length. Wear a bra, even if nature has blessed you with the ability to not wear one and still look good. White jeans look best on slender women. White jeans look best on slender women. Take pictures of yourself in the mirror to see what looks good on you. The camera does not lie. Delete the photos once you've made a determination. Not too baggy, not too tight. If you lose weight, good for you. But get those slacks taken in. If you gain weight, figure out why and alter your clothes so they fit. Then get busy with the exercise. Ask yourself, what kind of attention do I want to attract? Dress accordingly. If you can't walk in the shoes, don't wear the shoes. Do not purchase or accept as a gift counterfeit luxury items. The organized crime organizations that manufacture and distribute items often use child and slave labor to produce them. These organizations may also engage in drug trafficking, prostitution, and human trafficking. What's more, old money recognized an original, both in purses and people. Be that, buy that. Find your style and embrace it. For reference, Chic Simple Dress Smart for Women by Kim Johnson, Gross, and Jeff Stone offers solid advice about the workplace wardrobe. Study photographs of the late Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis and First Lady Michelle Obama. Look at their styles and incorporate them within your own. Look at their styles and incorporate them into your own. The relationship. A local seamstress who can alter and even create classic clothing for you is invaluable as you build and maintain your wardrobe. If she works from her home, that's even better. You will save money and you'll have clothes that fit and flatter. A hairstylist who knows your hair and can advise you on what color and cut is most flattering. A hairstylist who knows your hair and can advise on what cut and color is most flattering. A fashion designer whose style of clothes for women works on your body and fits with your personal style is important. You may not buy his or her line exclusively, but you will have it in your mind when you shop. This will give your wardrobe a unified look, making mixing and matching easy items. This will give your wardrobe a unified look, make mixing and matching items easy, and allow you to present a consistent style image to the public every day. Okay, so we are moving to Diction and Grammar. It's on page 94. But before we proceed, I have to tinkle. I really do. I've been sipping on my wine. I will refill my cup and I will tinkle. Thank you so much. First, I will refill my wine. I'm going to do that. That's gone. I spilled a little bit. But I really need to tinkle. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. So we are moving on to the next section, which is called Diction and Grammar. I just refilled my wine. I will hit my blunt once again. I'm having a great day. I'm enjoying reading to you all. I hope you are enjoying the book as well. If you would like to pick up a copy of what I'm reading and read it for yourself, it's called The Old Money Book, How to Live Better While Spending Less, Secrets of America's Upper Class by Byron Tully. It is a great read thus far. It is expanding my brain dimension, make me think a little bit different. It's also I've been drinking. It's also making me think about it's also making me think in regards to like the people that I date. I honestly, one thing that he said in the book that I agree with is don't date anybody that you can't see yourself marrying. I wholeheartedly agree with that. If you can't see yourself marrying this person, don't spend your time. Don't waste your time with them. I don't care if you're a man who, you like this woman, she's so fine. Oh my gosh, her ass so fat, this, and that. And you want to have sex with her. If you can't see yourself marrying her, don't do it. And the same goes for women. If you can't see yourself being with this man forever for the rest of your life, having kids with him and everything else, don't engage. Like, literally, do not engage. And I live by that. And I have been living by that for a very, very long time. Everyone I've ever engaged with, I could see myself marrying. Anyone I've ever had intercourse with, I could see myself marrying. Anyone I've ever dated, I could see myself marrying. I don't date if I don't see myself marrying you. Okay. Now, we're on to page 94, Diction and Grammar. Quote, speak clearly if you speak at all. Carve every word before you let it fall. End quote. Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr. I like that quote. Old money may have a wisp of its regional dialect, a soft southern drawl, or a tight New England clip, but the rough edges have been polished. Old money generally speaks what is known as standard American English. Old money pronounces its words clearly in a soft to moderate voice. The voice does not have an unpleasant nasal tone or a grating twang. It is not shrill. The vocal cords are not strained because the speech is supported by breath, which originates deep in the lungs and not the throat. The pace of speech is not so rapid it cannot be understood. It is not so slow that the listener loses interest before a sentence is finished. Regarding grammar, when someone asks, "How are you?" Old money will reply, "I'm well, thank you." Others will reply, "I'm good, thank you." Good opposed to bad, or good at what? Old money is articulate. It has a large vocabulary and uses the right word to convey the right idea. Old money constantly increases its vocabulary by learning new words. If you feel your vocabulary could improve, and all of ours could, make it a habit to learn the meaning and pronunciation of one new word each day. When you read a book or article and come across a word you're unfamiliar with, make a note of the word and research its meaning. Then go back and see in what context it was used. Old money does not use dictionary. I'm sorry. Actually, I thought of a word that they said in this book that I never heard of. It's just implode. It's spelled AMPLODE. So I will look that up. I'll make note of that. It's in my mind, but they said make note of it, which I already did mentally. Implode. I mean, in the context in which it was given, I understood it, but I don't know the definition of the word, so I will go look it up. Old money does not use its vocabulary as a way to intimidate or exclude others or to show how educated or sophisticated it is. While old money is never rude, it does not verbally dress up a situation to make it seem better than it is. Old money can be blunt and concise, but its thinking is sharp, detailed, and circumspect, and that shows in its vocabulary. Note: when you begin to change your speech patterns with an eye to self-improvement, you will be more inclined to speak properly when you are around your business colleagues or others of a higher social standing. You may then revert back to slang, lazy grammar, or colloquialisms when you are simply hanging out with your friends. Beware, this will not serve you well. When you work to change, make the change slow, permanent, and comprehensive. Otherwise, you may be seen as a phony who only behaves a certain way around a certain group of people. It may also cause inner conflict as you may feel you do not know who you really are. That's interesting. For reference, Speak Up by Sam Chwat is an excellent resource for eliminating regional accents and learning to speak standard American English. The Best Little Grammar Book Ever by Arlene Miller is an excellent resource for correcting common mistakes in grammar. Numerous sources for speech and grammar improvements exist online and at your local public library. The Relationship. For the serious or those who speak publicly or to groups often, seek out a professional speech therapist. Their rates are often very reasonable. Their techniques they teach in a few weeks can benefit for a lifetime. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So for the serious or for those who speak publicly or to groups often, seek out a professional speech therapist. Their rates are often very reasonable. Their techniques they teach in a few weeks can benefit for a lifetime. Good to know. We are moving on to page 97. This section is called Furnishings. This is great. So we are on page 97 of 142 pages. My goal is to read the end of this book, like finish the book completely. We started on page 58. We are now on page 97. We shall proceed with continuing to finish this book. That is my goal. I have had this book for quite some time, a couple of months, and I started reading it and then I sat it down and I did not proceed. So I want to finish the book, get it out the way, and apply the information because the information is very applicable. All right. Again, thank you all so much for being here with me. Thank you all for listening. I am vibing. I'm vibing. I'm smoking. I'm sipping my wine. And I'm reading the book, which is something that's very doable even off camera. Okay, we shall proceed. Furnishings. Quote. See that coffee table? Question mark. It's 200 years old. Put your feet on it. Put your drink on it. We don't care. We use our things. Just don't get so drunk you fall and break it. Mother would go nuts. End quote. By an OMG in Connecticut. Old money has the benefit of inheriting sofas, chairs, tables, and the like from well-heeled ancestors who had an eye for quality, the means to acquire it, and the brains to hold on to it. Perhaps you've inherited good pieces and you've been spared the expense of furnishing your residence from scratch. If not, fret not. There is hope, and that hope lies in the ignorance, negligence, and the poor judgment of others. Can't we always count on that? These others are the people whose families have acquired quality furnishings in the past, but no living member of the family has the inclination, interest, or intelligence to hold on to them. Therefore, these quality pieces end up at auctions, thrift shops, garage sales, and estate sales at a fraction of their value. Not very old money, but good for you. Wink nod. This, like many endeavors of old money, takes time, patience, and cash. But these and a little luck in a relatively short period of time, a young man, woman, or couple can start with a vacant apartment and end up with a well-furnished abode full of sturdy, comfortable, and attractive sofas, tables, lamps, and chairs. The first thing to know is where to go. Trendy, vintage, and antique stores are fine, but they have overhead and are in business to make money. Therefore, the prices may be higher. Thrift stores run by charities and garage sales in your neighborhoods are better bets. The overhead at these venues is less and the priority is more likely to be getting the furniture out of the store or the garage rather than making a tidy profit. The same can be said for items listed on websites like Craigslist. A very good source for quality furnishings is your local auction house.
High-end auction houses like Sotheby's and Christie's sell art and antiques. Prices can run into the millions of dollars. Old money can and often does buy there. But if you're just starting out or starting over, auction houses liquidating the contents of local estates for heirs or creditors are a great place to get sofas, chairs, rugs, and tables for a fraction of the retail price. Their items are generally traditional in style, sturdy in construction, and vary considerably in condition. They can be like new or they can be worn threadbare. In any case, the items available at these auctions, where items sell for $1 to $10,000, are great potential values. Again, they do require patience, forethought, and cash, but the savings are worth it. The auctions are also great fun. The most important thing to do prior to attending the actual auction is to preview the items up for sale. Preview the items up for sale. The preview happens either a few days or a few hours before the auction. This provides the shrewd buyer the chance to browse all the items for sale, closely impact. This provides the shrewd buyer the chance to browse all the items for sale, closely inspect any items of interest, and review the auction house catalog to get an idea of auction estimates for each piece. A sofa that looks great from a few feet away may have structural issues that are only visible upon closer inspection. A chair that looks awful from a distance might have hand-carved legs that are sturdy and beautiful. The preview provides an opportunity to assess the merchandise and the other buyers. These buyers may not be dressed like the society matrons of Sotheby's, but they have money. They are often the proprietors of the antique and vintage retail stores you decided not to frequent. They will bid on quality merchandise here at the auction, acquired at sometimes a ridiculously low price, and then put it on the showroom floor across town at a hefty markup. The retail price will be paid by someone with more money than sense, but that's business. It's not the way old money does business. After the preview, but prior to the auction, you'll have the chance to look at the auction house catalog. You'll probably note several items you want to bid on. Remember, you're still buying things that you're going to use every day. You'll look at the auction estimates and eliminate items that most likely will not be in your budget. But don't rule any of them out completely. There are surprises at every auction. Some items sell for many times their estimate. Some sell for next to nothing. Regardless of their estimate, watch for opportunities as the items you like come up for sale. When the bidding starts on an item you're interested in, remain calm. Do not bid first. Do not bid quickly. Take the temperature of the room. Is there a lot of interest or almost none? Bid strategically. Know your budget. Do not get carried away. There will be another chair or another table another day. Also, be aware that there will be a 10% premium added to the item you buy, plus sales tax. That can increase the cost of your new treasure 20% over above the sale price. And if it's a large sofa or a table, you still have to get it from the auction house to your house. So a $50 armchair might end up costing $800 by the time it finally comes to rest in your living room. Nevertheless, the bargains found at the auction houses are almost always amazing. Note, too, that auctions are social events. People meet, talk, bid against each other, and have fun in between the bidding. But be polite. Don't talk while bidding is in progress. Auction houses are great places to find furniture, dishes, glassware, and table linens. Just make sure to preview any item you plan to bid on. When you're looking at a piece of furniture, whether you're in a garage sale, thrift store, or auction house, the thing to do is ignore the fabric and look at the frame. At the first glance, a green and yellow check sofa from the 1970s may be a ghastly thought, but if you see the pads and find the hand-carved wood, and a set of springs that are still solid, you may be onto something. Imagine what the sofa would look like in a tan-colored velvet or with a couple of pillows. Sofas and armchairs are often found for pennies compared with buying new things retail. And old money never pays retail for new furniture. If old money does not, it does pay a premium for a piece of furniture, it is antique that will hold its value, appreciate over time, and can be sold by an auction house like Sotheby's or Christie's for a good price. Once you have acquired a sofa or a set of chairs you may want to have them upholstered to suit your tastes. Take your time. Find a fabric store in your area and select enough fabric to cover the furniture and perhaps a little extra to have pillows made. They have illustrated charts for guidance. Nothing too splashy, flashy, or trashy. Elegant, timeless, durable, comfortable. Elegant, timeless, durable, comfortable. You want anyone from the President of the United States to the local butchers to be able to come into your home and feel at home. You're not creating a showroom. You're creating a place in which to live on a daily basis. Refer to hardcover books that show pictures of old money residences rather than contemporary home decorating magazines that cater to the middle class and nouveau riche. Nouveau riche. If you're just starting out or starting over, earth tone fabrics will serve you well. Splashes of bright colors on pillows and accessories add life and are easily interchangeable. Ask friends, relatives, and colleagues for a referral to a local upholstery shop. This shop is almost always owned by an older gentleman. Look at his work. If you like it, discuss price. You may have options. He can provide the fabric if he has a good selection, or you may find the fabric yourself and provide it to him. Provide these and decide. He will pick your furniture up, re-upholster it in a week or two, then deliver it. The cost to acquire quality furniture secondhand and have it re-upholstered is far less than paying retail for it. Plus, you get exactly what you want. It may take longer, but you get exactly. It may take longer, but it lasts longer. Many old money houses never buy new furniture. They simply have their existing pieces reupholstered every 10 or 20 years, if at all. This is something that I did not know because, to be honest with you, every piece of furniture in my house is brand new. I got it all from Wayfair. I don't have one piece of upholstered or reupholstered furniture in my house. I had it when I first started out, when I was looking to get furniture, when I first got my first apartment, and then I got. This is all I'm saying is this is new information to me because I definitely did not know this. Like, if you knew this, shout out to you for being mindful with your money and having quality over quantity. Because to be honest with you, a little short story, I wouldn't mind if I would have got rid of every single thing that I had in Atlanta instead of having to hold everything in storage in Atlanta and then keep everything here and then back and forth and then flying to Atlanta and then driving you all here and then unloading it here and then actually getting everything out of storage and finding out everything doesn't fit in here and I don't need all this stuff in here and I need to get rid of it and I need to pay for more things. So now I have to I've spent money buying every single place I've had since I've been out my mom's house, and I've been on my own since 18 years of age, and I'm 32. And every piece of furniture I've bought, I've literally have just bought it brand new, moved, got rid of it, sold it, or whatever, and moved on. And now that I have all new furniture pieces, all new pieces in here, I just was not following this book. I was not following this book. This book is tea. This book is tea. If you have not gotten this book, get this book. This book is tea. It gives you a lot of information. Because once you apply it to your mind, because what I imagine is like moving here and just having a mattress and just having a sofa. I'm grateful for everything that I have. And yeah, things could have went differently. But if you're reading this book and you're just starting out or starting over, then follow the principles in this book so that you don't spend a whole lot of money or thousands and thousands of dollars for new things when you can have quality things that'll last you a lot longer. Now, I'm hoping that everything that I've bought in here will last me for years to come, but who knows? But they do make a good point.
Instead of buying new furniture, just get it reupholstered, which is something I would definitely consider, or I will do. Note: if you acquire your furniture one piece at a time, it may have a mismatched look until you get it reupholstered, and perhaps even afterwards. This is understandable and not entirely unwelcome. If it bothers you, paint the walls of the room in question a very bright color. This will draw the eye from the furniture and give an otherwise traditional room a lively kick. But be cautious. A splash of simple color on a white wall and leave it for a week or two to see how it settles with your eye and your decor. Quote, it seemed like a good idea at the time, end quote. It's not something you want to say to yourself after you've painted an entire room. Remember, don't waste money on buying new furniture for retail. This rule can also apply to dishes, table linens, and rugs. Goodwill stores and often beaten path resale shops are gold mines for finding quality furnishings at bargain pieces. Note: old money does not live with white walls. They're too stark. Paint can soften a room's atmosphere and encourage relaxation, or stimulate it, like red for your dining room, and contribute to appetite and conversation. Use it. Feng Shui is the ancient art of creating harmony in your living room and working space. While many may scoff at it, many old money Chinese adhere to its principles and prosper. Consider learning about it and applying the fundamentals of the practice to your home and office. Online resources are your first stop in order to familiarize yourself with the concepts of this tradition. A book is second. Acquiring the services of a feng shui master to address the issues of your home or office is third. Helpful hints. If you have children or plan to have children, rethink the white satin soft sofa fabric. Area rugs or hardwood floors are preferable to carpet. We've all seen the framed print of the dogs playing cards. Don't. Used pianos sell about one Used pianos sell for about 1/4 the price of an identical new piano. Check the classifieds when the children are ready for lessons. For expensive and interesting wall decor, display your hobby. Use second-hand picture frames and frame the wine labels from vintage. For expensive and interesting wall decor, display your hobby. Use second-hand picture frames and frame the wine labels from vintages you've enjoyed, maps of countries or cities you love, or incipient photos of a family pet. They're easy and personable. I like that. We are doing well. We're going to finish this book. We're going to finish this book. We're going to finish this book. I'm so excited. I was like,
Oh, okay, okay. I had the mute. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, okay. Can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me now. Okay, okay. Thank you. 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 I'm glad I looked at the chat. Like I could see you all from my peripheral vision, but I'm not responding to the chat because okay, yeah, we're back in business. Okay, awesome, awesome, amazing. I'm gonna see where I left off at and we're going to pick up at where we left off at. But I'm not reading the comments because I am trying to get through this book. I do want to read this book to you all. I don't have anything to prove to you all. This is how we always been. We've always been readers. We're readers. Like we're readers. Like reading is fundamental. I don't see how y'all. I don't understand how y'all think something is wrong with reading.
We gonna finish this book.
Okay.
This book we gonna finish this like that. A family pet. They're easy and personable.
Okay, so I see where I left off at for you all to get the where I left off at on mute. Okay, awesome. I'm just trying to find. I see where I left off at because people who are watching the playback will want to. You want to pause here until I read I find where I left off at, which is talking about the art and the furnishings. Okay, so we're under the furnishings section. And we left off with understanding that the furnishings are easy and personable. Okay, awesome. Okay, I found it. All right, so I see where we are. All right, so for those of you all who are watching the playback, the mute stopped at page 104, where the last sentence I read was for inexpensive and interesting wall decor, display your hobby. Use secondhand furniture, picture frames, and frame the wine labels from vintages you've enjoyed, maps of countries or cities you love, or recipient tint photos of a family pet. They're easy and personal. Awesome. Okay, so that's where we are.
I like that.
Plants not only make a room more attractive, they oxygenate it as well. Make room for a few in each room. Water them. Talk to them. Play classical music to them. Play classical music to help them grow. We are not joking. If you share your house with a spouse, do not dominate a common room with your decorative tastes alone. Gentlemen, keep the black leather chairs and vintage calendars in the designated man cave. Ladies, go easy on the frilly accessories. Moderate the size and number of electronics in the house. One television and one stereo system are enough. Lean towards books, plants, and a decor that encourages conversation and reflection. Books, plants, decor that encourages conversation and reflection. For reference, Feng Shui Your Life by Jamie Barrett offers a comprehensive and accessible guide to making the most of this ancient science. A local craftsman, we're going under the relationship. Now we're moving. Now we are moving to page 105. This section is called the relationship, and it reads, a local craftsman who reupholsters furniture at a reasonable prices. A paintbrush, which you will use yourself to paint the walls. A feng shui master to bring harmony to your living space. Okay, now we are on the reading section. This is page 106 out of 141 pages. I'm so excited. We are going to finish this book. We are finishing this book. This is going to be amazing to watch back because I will be watching this back. And for all of those who will be watching it back with me, Thank you for your patience and understanding. Pardon for the thank you for the helping me with the technical difficulties. I did not realize that I pressed the mute button on my iPad. Alrighty. Okay, go ahead and light your J with me. Why are we smoking? This is called a smoke, sip, and read. That's what this live is called, a smoke, sip, and read. That's what we're doing. We're smoking, we're sipping, and we're reading. I understand the information that I'm reading. I comprehend it. I will apply it, regardless if I'm smoking a blunt or having a glass of wine while I'm reading. You can do the same thing at your home. If you have the book, follow along with me. I am on page 106. It's titled Reading. We will proceed to read the rest of this book. That is the point of this live, is for me to continue to read this book. I will finish this book. It has 141 pages. I got this book a couple months ago. I stopped on page 58 and I did not pick it up for like 2 months. I am not picking it up and I started on page 58. I am not on page 106. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I am going to finish this book. And I'm going to finish the rest of this blunt. Yeah. It only have like 2 more puffs on it anyway. Like, be for real. If you don't smoke, that's okay. If you don't drink, that's okay. We aren't the same people. I don't know what you want me to say to that. You do me, and I'm known best for doing myself. Yeah. I am reading for you all, and I'm also reading for myself. I'm really reading for myself on camera to hold myself accountable for reading. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We shall proceed. We are on page 106 of the Old Money book, How to Live Better While Spending Less, Secrets of America's Upper Class by Byron Tully. Thank you for the compliment about my necklace. Quote, show me a family of readers and I will show you the people who move the world. End quote. Napoleon Bonaparte. Old Money reads, it's that simple. Reading is probably the most important mental exercise you can do. It is vitally important that you do it on a regular basis. It is weightlifting for your brain, and it is the muscles you are building when you read or learning ability and memory. This is not your Aunt Etna speaking. This is neuroscience. If you have not been fortunate enough to have received a top shelf formal education, you can compensate for that by adopting a joyful and enriching curriculum of your own making. If you have received a quality formal education, do not let your soul atrophy. Build on your strong foundation. Reading will improve the quality of your life and the quality of your relationships, as the quality of your conversation will in large part be dependent on what you have read. Intelligent, well-read people seldom have lengthy or regular conversations with those who have not read well. A good regimen for reading is
A good regimen for reading is to alternate. Read a book that you want to read about a subject that interests you, a guilty pleasure even. Then read a book that you should read, a classic. Read novels so you'll discover how history repeats itself and how people really don't change. Read poetry and you discover that words of love and pain have a surprising timeless. That is so good. I gotta start that over. That is good. That is good. That is good. I'm gonna show you something. But first I gotta tinkle. I love when I read something that validates my personal experience in life. And what I mean by that is what I just read. So, I've always been a reader. In fact, I used to get made fun of for reading. Oh, you're a grandma, you a nerd, you're this, you're that, blah, 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 blah. But that's why I have all these books up here and more. I also have a Kindle that's full of books. And I'm currently reading this book to you all. One thing that was significant in what I just read was a good regimen for reading is to alternate. Read a book that you want to read about a subject that interests you, a guilty pleasure even. Then read a book that you should read, a classic. This to me is a classic. I'm also reading a guilty pleasure on my Kindle right now. It's a hood book. It's called The Night a Rich Thug Saved Me, a Billionaire Romance. It's about this girl and she's like in the streets, come from poverty, and she meets this billionaire and blah, 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 blah. But I'm currently also 50% read of this. I'm 50% in this book. This book also has 142 pages. I'm on page 72 of 142 pages in this book, which is 50% of the book, chapter 5, Casino Billionaire. The constant stimulation of the brain to me is why I'm a sapiosexual. I continuously pour into my mind. I spend a lot of time by myself, so I'm constantly reading and stimulating myself in ways that acquire me to be better in life and be a better individual and take the leap into the imagination of what my own world could possibly be or greater. So that's why that intrigued me so much just then. It was just like, oh my gosh, that is exactly what I'm doing. That is so amazing. That makes me feel so good. I'm so happy to see it. Yes, I love that. So yeah, that's why I had to pause and be like, I love when I read something that validates my personal experience. Okay, let's get back to it. Read novels and you'll discover how history repeats itself and how people really don't change. Read poetry and you'll discover that the words of love and pain have a surprising timelessness about them. Read philosophy and you discover whether you have one or not. Read plays. If you read Shakespeare, it may help you to read it aloud. Don't be embarrassed. You won't be the first to do it and enjoy it. Side note, I used to practice Shakespeare when I was in middle school. I went to, what was the name of my middle school? I forget the name of my middle school, but I practiced Shakespeare in middle school, and I am big pentameter, gotta move to the right parameter. I am big pentameter, gotta move to the rhythm of the beat. It went something like that. But yeah, I used to practice Shakespeare until my mom was like, that's a whole nother story. Like, it takes money. We didn't have the money, but yeah, I used to practice it. So that's interesting that they say that. Okay, anyway. Biographies of great men and women will offer a glimpse of the very human person behind the legend. Their stories will inevitably reveal dark moments which may help you encounter dark moments of your own. They may come they came through theirs and prevailed. So will you. I like that. Biographies of great men and women will offer a glimpse of the very human person behind the legend. Their stories will inevitably reveal dark moments which may help you encounter dark moments of your own. They came through theirs and prevailed. So will you. The quality of the material you read will either elevate your intellectual abilities or erode them. You are also trading precious time to load ideas into your brain. Select your materials with care. Make your television time your reading time. Your life and your home will change for the better almost immediately. If you've only read what's required for school or work, you're living half a life. If someone mentions a title or an author that sounds interesting, make a note. The person who mentioned it will be flattered. A shared joy is a great relationship starter. Avoid enormous retail bookstores that sell the latest celebrity confessionals and TV chef cookbooks. Find resale bookshops with knowledgeable staff and passionate owners and thrift stores that resell books. Helpful hints. The plays of William Shakespeare or the 17th Earl of Oxford if you prefer. The poems of Walt Whitman. The short stories of Edgar Allan Poe and Washington Irving. The novels of Charles Dickens. The essays of Ralph Waldo Emerson. The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. The Life of Lord Byron. The Thoughts of Tagore. For reference, the Western Canon, the books and School of the Ages by Harold Bloom provides a dazzling overview of the great literary works and their authors. A subscription to an international newspaper is invaluable in gaining a global perspective on current events. Consider The Guardian, published in London. Their weekly publication is articulate, comprehensive, and refreshing. Magazine subscriptions are an economical way to stay entertained and informed, but make sure the publication covers subject matters that is worthy of you. The subject matter content and publications that you read and browse through repeatedly may shape your priorities and influence your decision-making process, especially with regards to the advertising contained within. They can numb your mind or elevate your thinking, so take care in choosing your subscriptions. The relationship. Your local library and your librarian. Family, friends, and colleagues who read. Ask them what they're reading. Find a subject of interest. Dive in. Okay, you all, we are on page 110 out of 141. We're in the section of housing. Yes. This is lovely. This is beautiful. This makes me feel good. This expands my brain. This just makes me, it's chef's kiss. It puts me in the element of my true nerdy self that loves to read, that absolutely loves to just sit home and be in my brain thinking of, like, I watch TV, I watch drama sometimes, but I don't have any real drama in my life, and I'm grateful for that. And so I sit and I read. Y'all always ask me about these books, but I promise you I've read a lot of them. I've collected them over the course of years. On my TV right now, I'm going to let you hear this sound that I'm playing, but I have it down low for copyright reasons. But this is the sound that I'm playing. It's by a YouTuber titled She's Gone. And the name of this one in particular is called You Can Rest Now. It has 20,000 views, and it was uploaded 8 days ago. and it's 3 hours long. And as I'm reading this book, this is exactly what's playing in the background. That I might get copyrighted for, I don't know how long, but I just want to make sure that this is what plays on my TV. It's usually a sound. It's usually a sound like this that's playing in the background on my TV. Whether I'm scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on YouTube, this sound is always playing in my background, or like a classical sound or a lo-fi sound, something that's always mentally stimulating to my brain that has absolutely no lyrics. I know that what I show you all is a multiple of people. And I show you all I show you all multiple sides of me. Like there's a side of me that's very extroverted, and I could go there. But this side to me today is a side that is wanting to give more substance, wanting to give more grace, wanting to give more passion, show a different side of me, because I do have more subscribers, and I don't want you to think that all I do is cuss people out all day, every day. It's strategic. I strategically curse people out. I strategically do it. If I sometimes I'm having a good day and I've been drinking and I just want to get online and curse people out. That's the truth. Sometimes I get online and I might be mad and I need somebody to take it out on, and y'all come on here fucking with me, and then look, y'all are the perfect people for me to take it out on. So it varies. The reason varies. But most time and every time, it's fun. Because I don't know you and you don't know me. Yeah. Almost like going to a glory hole. You're having a lot of fun, but you don't know who's on the other side. You gotta admit that was good. You have to admit that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. Come on now. That was a good one. Okay, anyway, we're moving on. Okay. Again, we're on page 110. This section is called Housing. Quote, where thou art, that is home. End quote. Emily Diction. The first thing old money looks for in a residence is safety. Is the neighborhood safe? Is the building safe? Are the water and gas sources and systems safe? The second thing old money requires is that the dwelling be affordable. Is the monthly expense for the place, rent, utilities, and any associated fees within the budget? The third thing old money requires is cleanliness. This means keeping the living space and its surroundings clutter-free and hygienic. The fourth thing old money considers is the neighborhood. Are schools a factor? Is transportation convenient? What is the commute to work? What businesses and services are in the area? Is a park, museum, or library nearby? Emotions are not a part of this decision-making process. Plush carpeting, modern appliances in the kitchen, a great view, or a swimming pool for tenants means nothing. Functionality and affordability are the key elements when old money selects a residence. If you're just starting out or starting over, feel free to rent rather than rush into owning a primary residence. OMGs seek financial independence first if they do not already have it, and then seek the comforts of owning a primary residence later. Old money lives far below its means, especially with regards to housing, because a home ownership or rent can be the largest expense in the household budget. Old money chooses the neighborhood first and the house second. Better to live in a smaller residence in a better neighborhood than a bigger residence in a lesser neighborhood. Old money will make sure good schools, public or private, are available in the neighborhood. The children's education comes first. Old money, if necessary, will relocate in order to ensure a quality education for the children. Old money has a small percentage of its overall net worth invested in a primary residence because a primary residence is primarily an expense, not an income-producing asset.
Members of the middle class will save and borrow in order to purchase a primary residence, which will do nothing but require further expenses, which would do nothing but require further expenditures to maintain. Mortgage. The mortgage will also be the largest monthly expense of the household. Opportunities for career advancement, savings, or investment may be missed if the mortgage is too large or consumes too much of the household budget. The middle class wants to buy a house as soon as possible. They are generally misguided in their financial thinking. They are sold the idea of a house as something that creates security, comfort, and safety, which it does not. It demands a down payment and requires a serious long-term obligation and many times a huge commitment of resources. The purchase of a residence prior to being financially independent profits the owner of the property and the real estate agent, not the buyer. Again, this is the case of people trying to solve an emotional issue with a financial decision. Old money doesn't do this. It solves its emotional problems by objective self-examination and sets them apart from financial decisions. Old money, if it does not inherit a home, will rent first, keeping and conservatively investing the money it would have put into a down payment. It will purchase a primary residence later in life, make a larger down payment, have lower monthly payments, and more financial independence. It will then leave the house with a smaller or non-existent mortgage and tremendous equity to its children to live in, rent, or sell when it's time to downsize. If you absolutely must buy a piece of real estate when you are just starting out or starting over, consider an income-producing one. A residence, 2 or 4 units, one you live in and the others you rent out, can moderate the cost of home ownership and provide tax benefits. I gotta underline something. Old money rarely makes renovations, but if it does, it makes sure that they add value to the property. Many additions and alleged improvements do not. Consult a local trusted realtor before remodeling and spending hard-earned money. Make sure it will pay off in resale value. Do not take out a second mortgage to do renovations. Pay cash. If you are hesitant about parting with hard-earned cash to pay improvements, that should tell you something. Helpful hints. I'm going to read that again. Do not take out a second mortgage to do renovations. Pay cash. If you are hesitant about parting with hard-earned cash to make improvements, that should tell you something. Helpful hints. Wear a sweater. Open a window. Light a fire. Turn on a fan. Central air is money. Check the insulation. Hang heavy curtains in the winter. Leaky faucets are literally money going down the drain. Turn off the light when you leave the room. Fewer rooms, larger rooms. Smaller house, larger lot, quiet street. Less stuff, more room. I could really benefit from this last sentence I read, which is less stuff, more room. I would have so much more room if I didn't have so much stuff. I have so much stuff right here in this little space that I have my coffee table on top of my real dining room table, which is really not a problem for me because I don't even have people over at my house that often, so that works in my favor. But shall I move, I will not buy any more pieces of furniture. I will actually just keep everything I have and space it out so that I have more space in my space. Because right now it's tight, but it's so fucking cute and I don't want to change a thing. So less stuff, more room. I could really benefit from that tremendously. So I would not be buying no new pieces in the future. Not so soon. I probably won't be buying furniture for years. I honestly don't need any new pieces of furniture for my home at all. Unless it's personalized art that I create to hang on my walls and personalized photos that I've taken to
put in my home, which is what I'm doing right now, but I have a small space, so I'm utilizing every square inch of it. Okay, we shall proceed. Y'all, we are almost done with the book. Y'all, we almost done with the book. We got this. We got this. We got this. We got this. If you want to do exactly what I'm doing right here, right now, you can do this, but you don't have to go live. If you want to go live and put yourself out there, then you can go live and put yourself out there just to hold yourself accountable. I don't know if it'll make you feel how I feel while I'm reading. But you can put it under unlisted or private instead of public. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Now, we are on page 114 of the book. This title is called Socializing. Quote, most of the people that work for me are probably more intelligent than I am. The one thing that I can do is walk into a room where I don't know anybody and leave knowing 5 people I could either become friends with or do business with. I don't always like doing it, but I've learned to do it because I like the results. End quote. OMG in Philadelphia. I can too. Y'all, I can literally walk into any room, any place, talk to anybody, child, teenager, adult, older person, it don't matter. I could talk to literally anybody. I'm not afraid to speak to nobody. Nobody. Not one human on earth I'm afraid to speak to. And you shouldn't be afraid to speak to humans either. They're just humans. They're much more like you. They're humans like you, then separate away from you. So I can speak to anybody. I swear I can speak to anybody. It don't matter who it is. No matter the race, the culture, the color, the ethnicity, the background, where they come from, short, tall, skinny, wide, big, wide, fat, yellow color, it don't matter. No matter who they are, I can speak to them. I can have a conversation with them and find something to relate to and have a subject matter to talk about with them. And you can too. Old money leads an active and vibrant social life. Old money celebrates life. You should too. Friends, family, classmates, and colleagues comprise the social network of old money, as they do for most people. Even in this age of the internet, socializing by old money is done primarily face-to-face at casual or formal events specifically designed for social interaction. Old money does not habitually socialize in bars, though the occasional after-work drink is not unheard of. Most socializing occurs in private homes, restaurants, or private clubs. Conversation is the lifeblood of old money socializing. Lively, intelligent, interesting conversation is what defines an old money social event more than any other quality. The ability to get engaged in conversation comfortably and enjoyably with people one has met. Conversation is the lifeblood of old money socializing. Lively, intelligent, interesting conversation is what defines an old money social event more than any other quality. The ability to engage in conversation comfortably and enjoy with people one has never met is a hallmark of old money. For the shy or inexperienced, it simply requires the practice of a few fundamentals. Expected to dress and what time you're expected to arrive at an event. Know the reason, if there is one, for the event. When in doubt, old and jeans fall back on the blue blazer and the black dress discussed in the attire chapter.
Unless specifically told not to, or you are attending a formal event, bring a bouquet of flowers, dessert, or bottle of wine for the host or hostess if the event is at their home. If you are attending a formal event, have flowers delivered to the host the day before or after. Know if it's permissible to bring a guest before asking someone to accompany you. If the hosts have invited you and not invited you to bring a guest, don't ask to bring one. This may put them in an awkward position, or they may have someone in mind for you to meet. Know someone very, very well before inviting them to accompany you to a social event. You will be measured by your guest's behavior, as it is a reflection on your taste and judgment. When meeting someone, shake their hand firmly and smile. Remember their name. Use their name when you address them in initial conversation. This will help you remember it. Ask questions. Listen. Look the person in the eye. Do not ask personal questions such as what someone does for a living, how much money they make, or what kind of car they drive. You may ask them where they are from, how they know the host of the event you are both attending. If you are drinking wine, ask them if they know anything about wine. Compliment them sincerely on something about their appearance you like, not their breasts. When asked a question, respond honestly, diplomatically, elaborate a little, but remember, conversation is an exchange. One word answers can kill it, but so can monologues. Don't try to be funny. You're either funny or you're not. In either case, use humor cautiously during an initial conversation. Do not tell jokes. Do not do a stand-up comedy routine. You may tell brief, emphasis on brief, interesting stories about things you have done or want to do. Immediately after doing so, however, direct the conversation back to the person or persons you're talking with. Ask about their interests. Note, these stories are infinitely more appealing if they are not boastful and avoid death, destruction, and disease. Don't monopolize someone's time. Everyone there... I laugh because I actually fucked up one time when I did this. Oh, sorry, I'm still fucked. I messed up one time. I did this. I actually did this. When they say note, these stories are infinitely more appealing if they are not boastful and avoid death, destruction, and disease. I really fumbled an interview because there was a question. They asked me what I wanted to be when I wanted. They asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and honest answer, like off the top of my head, I swear this just happened like less than a month ago. Off the top of my head, I said, I really wanted to be a sniper. Like, I wanted to be like Angelina Jolie from Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I found that movie so fascinating. I wanted to be a sniper. And I was talking to the CEO of the company, and I think that, like, I wonder why I didn't hear back from them, but that's what I wanted to be. Like, growing up, I wanted to be, I used to want to be a part of, I wanted to be in the CIA. I wanted to be a sniper in the CIA, and when that didn't work, I wanted to be a lawyer. But when that worked, anything is possible, but, that's what I wanted to be. Who knows if I'm a CIA agent or not? Who knows? So, it's just interesting to me that they said these stories are infinitely more appealing if they are not boastful and avoid death. And snipers, of course, they kill. And so that's why I laugh. Destruction and disease. That's why I chuckle, because it was like, girl, how you gonna tell the CEO of a company that you got there wanted to be a sniper? Who knows that imagination is still in your head, and then you get mad because you want to take that out on them, and they feel like that's what you want to do. So, yeah, that's why I chuckled. Okay, anyway, moving on. Moving along. Don't monopolize someone's time. Everyone is there to socialize. After a few minutes of conversation, feel free to thank them for talking with them, tell them you enjoyed it, and ask to be excused to get a drink, refreshed, use the restroom, or simply say hello to other guests. If you'd like to talk more with them, ask them for a business card or ask if they make time to speak more before the event is over. Old money social events are upbeat. Conversation is lively and optimistic. Tragedy, personal problems, and unpleasant topics are not discussed. I definitely should have been read this goddamn book because Lord knows I used to pour my sob story on anyone who listened to it. I didn't even know it was a sob story at the time. I just felt like this is my real life story. This is where I come from. But nobody wants to hear your fucking sob story at an upbeat event. If you do something stupid or clumsy, we all do, simply try to minimize the damage, clean it up or correct it, apologize if necessary and say, that was embarrassing, and then move on. Talk about something else. If you're around old money, they'll play it off like it was nothing and join you in changing the subject and try to make everyone feel comfortable again. Networking among old money is done very, very diplomatically. When you tell someone what you do or what you are interested in doing for a living, wait for them to inquire further about it. Do not press. Old money can spot a sales pitch a mile away. That's good to know. I worked in direct marketing and actually just pitched an idea to a couple of prominent people. So we will see. I actually got I didn't get a full on rejection, but I got a pause on one, and then the other is in the making. So we're, they both have old money. That's another reason I'm brushing up on my skills. Gotta know how to conduct myself in these places with these faces. Okay. If you do something stupid or clumsy, and we all do. Oh, yeah, I just read that. Social clues you can use. Page 117. Regardless of how much you really, really feel the music, do not dance if no one else is dancing. Y'all, that is hard. That is hard. Okay, that's hard for 2 or 3 reasons. Okay, one is hard because I am a dancer. I'm not a professional dancer or anything, but I love to move to the rhythm of the beat. I am big pentameter. I love to move to the rhythm of the beat. And also, there have been times where no one else is dancing around me and I start to dance and then people join me and dance with me. So I will play that one by ear, just depending on the environment. Do not dance on a table, even if others are dancing. I've definitely done this, but I'll withhold. Unless you're specifically asked by the host or hostess, do not sing or play a musical instrument, no matter how well you sing or play. It's a party. Stay with the group. If you are invited to a secluded part of the house by another guest or the host, politely decline. If you go to a secluded part of the house with another guest or the host during the party, your good reputation may not be there when you return, regardless of what does or does not transpire in private. No matter how hot it may be, do not remove your clothing. If other people remove their clothing, you are not at an old money social event. Leave before you see something you'll regret. Know when to thank your hosts and leave. If you came alone, leave alone. If you came with a guest, leave with that guest, unless you are driving and they have been drinking. Then inform your host. Do not drink and drive. Call a cab or an Uber or a Lyft. They don't say that in this book, but we got Uber and Lyft. It's cheaper than bail. Cliche, but true. Send a thank you note the next day without fail. Old money socializing is to connect with friends, share experiences, meet new people, and facilitate business relationships. It is not a place to troll for marriage or sex partners. Flirting is fine. Just keep it between the lines. If old money encourages you to meet and talk with someone, make every effort to meet and talk with them. There's a reason. Page 119, the section is called Cars. I'm not calling them chapters because they aren't listed as chapters in the book. They're literally just sections. Table of contents. They're sections. So page 119, titled Cars, 119 out of 141. Quote, modesty is the color of virtue. End quote. Diogenes. I've never heard of this person. Diogenes, if you're listening to me, don't know if you're alive or, I am, and your family. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. Old money spends less on cars as a percentage of the net worth. Old money spends less on cars as a percentage of their net worth than any social class. This is an obvious point given that old money can have $10 million in the bank and have a car worth $10,000 in the driveway. More importantly, old money also thinks less about cars than any social class. Cars are required to function, providing safe, reliable transportation for family. They are not required to impress others, attract attention, or compensate for deficiencies in character or physique. Wink nod. Before I move on to the next paragraph in that section. True story. The man who got my breast done is an old money man worth $300 million. $300 million. Imagine having $300 million in the bank and you drive a Toyota Camry that you bought for less than I think you bought it between $10,000 and $12,000. 0 miles on it. Worth $300 million. You would never know this man is worth $300 million by the car he drives, because he looks just like everyone else in a Toyota Camry with 0 miles on it, and yeah, that's a true story. Yeah, that's a real fucking story. Worth $300 million and he drives a Toyota Camry worth $10,000 to $12,000. Anyway, moving on. If a car is purchased new by old money, it is usually driven for at least 10 years and probably 20. It is driven by one generation and perhaps two. It is maintained regularly, but may be clean or dirty on the outside, but is usually fairly clean on the inside. Historically, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Volvo, and Saab, and whatever. I read that sentence so wrong. Because my mind, instead of trying to comprehend what I was actually reading, I immediately thought about this man I know, and I'm like, oh, my mind went, okay, I wasn't focused. Okay, I wasn't focused. That's fine. I wasn't focused. Although I love a man in a nice car. I mean, I do, but am I gonna? Car need to be clean. Okay. Anyway, moving on. If a car is purchased by if a car is purchased new by old money, It is usually driven for at least 10 years and probably 20. It is probably driven by one generation and perhaps two. It is maintained regularly, but may be clean or dirty on the outside, but it is usually fairly clean on the inside. Historically, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Volvo, Saab, and whatever is handed down from a relative have been the cars of choice for old money. There is also the SUV or truck for those living in the country. Younger old money also drives fuel-efficient Hondas and Toyotas. Whatever the make, original parts and paints are maintained. Customized wheels, heavily tinted windows, decals, and bumper stickers are non-existent. Convertibles are rare and reserved for vintage sports cars, which appreciate in value, by the way, as they don't do as well as hardtops over the long haul. Making monthly payments on a new car that sells at a price equal to one's yearly income seems ridiculous to old money. Paying cash for a new car when one is not very wealthy, or even when one is paying cash for a new car when one is not very wealthy, or even when one is, may even induce cardiac arrest amongst older OMGs. It just isn't done. That makes me think about the car that I really want. Yeah. I am, and look, Vegan Beauty, I just saw your comment out of my preview vision because you said about the bumper stickers. You said you have bumper stickers. Vegan Beauty, if this is the case, I really want the Porsche Panamera. I want the new Porsche Panamera. The starting price is $228,000. And that is the starting price. If you get any upgrades, it goes up to anywhere from $228,000 to $250,000. It's on my vision board. I really love the car. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I think the one that I'm looking at is like $240,000. It's absolutely beautiful. It's sleek. It's beautiful. I love it. It's amazing. I want it. But when I read information like this, it's like, is that a smart idea to get? But my desire, my finances. Okay, yes, exactly. Reliability is what matters. I have not had a car since 2019. It's 2025. That should tell you something about my patience and where I've opted to live so that I'm within means of a budget and not trying to impress. I'm not living out here to impress anybody. I'm not at all. I'm living according to my means and until I can be able to get what I absolutely want. Making monthly payments on a new car that sells out at a price equal to one's yearly income seems ridiculous to old money. Paying cash for a new car when one is not very wealthy, or even when one is, may even induce cardiac arrest amongst older OMGs. It just isn't done. For those just starting out or starting over, 10% is a more reasonable figure. This means that someone making $50,000 per year would be driving a $5,000 car. The car is probably used from one owner who kept books and records of all maintained and never been involved in an accident or natural disaster. Think flood. The car is fuel efficient and inexpensive to maintain. The interior is in good condition. The exterior has no damage and few dents. If the previous owner is an OMG, all the better. The car has probably been in a garage and not driven into the ground. If you aren't very rich, the dumbest thing you could do is go out and buy a new car. The car depreciates in value the moment you drive it off the lot. A used car does not. When you buy a new car, you are paying for the new car dealership overhead, which includes advertising, sales commissions, rent, and so on. When you buy a used car from an individual, not a used car dealership, you are more likely to pay for the value of the car and a little else. Some may say you are simply buying someone else's trouble. Old money says, not if you do your homework. Avoid leases unless your CPA advises you that it is beneficial tax-wise to you or your company. Paying for your car for several years and then giving it back to the car dealership doesn't strike old money as a smart move. That's exactly what the fuck I did. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly that. That right there is exactly what I did. Okay, the audio is going to change because I actually have to switch. My iPad is on 10%. So I'm going to switch. But I am determined to read the rest of this book. Like, I'm determined. I got 20 pages left. 20 pages left. We are reading this book. We're reading this book. Okay? I'm determined. This is what determination looks like and succeeding. We've got the A. Okay. We are reading this book. Okay. Avoid leases unless your CPA advises you that it is beneficial tax-wise to you or your company. Paying for a car for several years and then giving it back to your dealership doesn't strike old money as a smart move. New cars will be more expensive to insure, and the dealer often requires that you return to them for maintenance and repairs in order to keep them under warranty. With a used car, you are free to repair the car when and with whom you choose or whom you wish. Even if the used car requires repairs soon after purchase, the overall cost of owning it are far less than a new car. If you wish to sell your car, you'll be more likely to recoup your original investment with a used car than a new one. A used car is also less of a target for thieves, vandals, and gold diggers. You may be tempted by the low monthly payments offered by a new car dealer, but you will pay more in the long run. Save your money. Buy a well-maintained car that costs no more than 10% of your yearly income. Have a reputable mechanic check the car for mechanical issues prior to buying it. Do not be in a hurry. If you are in a hurry for transportation, rent a car. If you cannot pay cash, seek out a loan from a credit union and pay off the loan as soon as is possible. Drive your reliable, efficient, and low-profile vehicle until the cost of repairs becomes more than the resale value. Then remove the license plates and donate the radiator. It should be the original to the car, and again, look for leaks. The frame. This is the structure that holds the car together. If it is bent from an accident, the car will not sit properly and the tires will wear out prematurely. The tires. While not overly expensive to replace, the tires should be in reasonably good condition. Tires worn unevenly on the outside or inside may hint that the owner has not balanced the tires or had regular alignments done. This may be a sign of poor maintenance habits. The interior. This may tell you a lot about the maintenance habits of the present owner. While a spotless interior is no guarantee of a reliable and well-maintained car, a trashed, dirty, and worn interior is really a sign of one. Obviously, the driver's seat will be more worn than other parts of the interior, but overall, the interior should be in decent shape. The brakes should be in good condition. All the lights and signals should work. These are critical to safety. Rust in the undercarriage is a bad sign. The car should have its original paint job and all or most of its original parts. If the paint on a door panel is slightly different than the rest of the car has been in an accident. Highly customized vehicles are not desirable. Check the trunk and the spare tire. Are the tools to change the tire still there? A spare quart of oil or bottle of transmission fluid in the trunk may tell you that this person takes care of their car. It looks like looking in a person's closet. Check the mileage on the odometer. Quality cars can run past 200,000 miles, but you may not want to look at those with less mileage. Calculate in your head how old the car is and how many miles it has on it. This will tell you how much the car was driven in a given year and perhaps how hard it was driven. Questions to ask the owner. Is the title to the vehicle in your name? Do you have it in your possession? Are you perfectly so? Are you the first owner or only owner? How long have you had the car? Who did you buy it from? Why are you selling the car? Is there hesitation or a fishy story? Beware. Has it ever been in an accident? Carfax may tell you this. A door or front quarter panel that is different tint or texture or paint may reveal this, as sometimes the repair paint may not perfectly match the original. Is this car a salvage title? If so, you do not want it, regardless of what story the owner tells you. How was the car used? Driven to work? Parked outside? Driven by teenagers? Who is your mechanic? How has he regularly maintained this car? Do you have the receipts for all the service done on this car? Highly preferable. Other things to do. Test drive the vehicle by yourself if possible. Turn on the radio to make sure it works, but turn it off while driving so you can listen for the suspicious noises coming from the engines or brakes. Park the car after you've driven it. Wait a few minutes. Look under to see if there are oil or water leaks on the pavement. Questions to ask yourself. Can I afford to buy this vehicle? Can I afford to own this vehicle? Be sure to budget insurance, potential repairs, and fuel efficiency. Does this vehicle work for me on a daily basis? Think about your life. Think about this car. Do they match? Is this car appropriate? Why do I want to buy this vehicle? Do I need to buy this vehicle? Am I making an emotional decision in purchasing this vehicle? Have I considered all my options? Old money saying, when there is doubt, there is no doubt. When there is doubt, there is no doubt. Interesting. We are now on page 128. This section is called travel. Hey, wait. Let's see how many more sections we got. No. I don't want to ruin the mystery. I don't want to. If I look and see how many more sections I got, then I will ruin the mystery of what I'm reading. Okay. Even though I did read the contents, I don't remember them. Page 128, section is called travel. Don't tell me how educated you are. Tell me how much you traveled. Muhammad. Old money enjoys the experience of travel. Yes, travel requires time and money, but its benefits are numerous and enduring and well worth the planning and expense. Travel broadens perspective. It shatters preconceived notions. Mark Twain said it best when he wrote, "Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow mindedness." Many people look at the advertised prices of airfares and hotels and immediately conclude that it is financially impossible for them to travel on a regular basis. Nonsense. The money most people spend on cable television in a year could purchase a round trip airline ticket from the New York to London. Old money sees many administrative assistants carrying $500 purses. That money could have brought a week at bed and breakfast in Rome. Many men drive cars that require payments equal to 1/4 of their monthly salaries, and they never travel broadly. I know y'all know some motherfuckers out there. I know y'all know people like this. I'm gonna read it again. I know y'all know people like this. I know people like this. I know you know people like this. We all know people like this. We all know them. We do. Don't lie. Clock that T. Many men drive cars that require payments equal to 1/4 of their monthly salaries, and they've never traveled abroad. It's a matter of what their priorities are. You cannot consider yourself truly well educated unless you travel. Obviously, it helps to have money to travel and enjoy it, but just as crucial is the planning. If you're willing to plan your travel a year or more in advance, you can make almost any trip, regardless of your income level. That may seem like a long time to plan, but a part of the old money success in life is the result of planning. Learn this and benefit. Obviously, the first thing you must do is decide where you want to go, what you want to see, and what you want to do while you're there. Be careful. If you think that you want to go to a sunny destination, lie on the beach for 2 weeks and do nothing, you are always doing something. If you want to lie on the beach in the sun, drink alcohol, and eat enormous amounts of food for an extended amounts of time, you should examine your motivation for wanting to do so. I could do that right now. I live in Miami. Many people vacation here all the time. All I have to do is walk down the street and I could literally be on vacation at the beach, drinking and eating enormous amounts of food in the sun. Facts. That's why I moved here. There is nothing wrong with wanting to relax. It is necessary and healthy. But we often seek to anesthetize, 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 anesthetize. But we often seek to anesthetize ourselves when we are in job or situations we don't find pleasant, fulfilling, or challenging. Travel should be different from our daily routine existence. It should be relaxing, mentally and perhaps physically stimulation. Travel should be different from our daily routine existence. It should be relaxing, mentally and perhaps physically stimulating, and emotionally nourishing. You will be able to achieve these three things through planning and being honest with yourself. What are you interested in? What do you enjoy? What are you curious about? What have you always dreamed of doing or seeing? Life is short. Plan a trip and go. Do it, see it, immerse yourself in it. Once you have decided on a destination or an activity, be honest with yourself again. Do I care if I travel first class? Must I stay in a luxury hotel? How inexpensively can I travel and still enjoy myself? Is my destination out of reach for me financially right now? Even traveling as cheaply as possible. If you want to do an African safari and have only $1,000 to spend, even with the planning, you're not going to go very far. What activities or what activity or activities, sites or people do I want to see and or do when I get to my destination? Shopping is not an acceptable answer. Visiting museums, learning the culture, and exploring the city is a better answer. Generally speaking, visiting museums, learning the culture, and exploring the city. Generally speaking, the younger people can tolerate more primitive traveling conditions than older people. Regardless of what you find acceptable, make sure your priority in travel is the experience, not the comfort or luxury. Memories are the luxury of travel. Roughing it can be half the fun. So let's say your dream vacation is to see Paris. Paris? You've always wanted to see the Eiffel Tower, drink coffee at the Parisian Sidewalk Cafe, and walk along the Seine after dark. Good for you. That's your dream, and that's what travel is all about. An example. We're almost done. As it so happens, Elizabeth also wants to go to Paris to see the Eiffel Tower, drink coffee at a Parisian sidewalk cafe, and walk along the Seine after dark. Elizabeth lives in America, works at a job which provides her 2 weeks of vacation per year. She's adopted an old money mindset, living modestly, saving judiciously, and enjoying life. She set her sights on Paris and plans to use her 2 weeks of vacation in the upcoming year to visit the city. How she plans the trip will determine if she can do it all, and if she can do it, how much fun she has when she goes. The first thing Elizabeth would do is rethink. Most people think of traveling in the summer. She'll avoid summer. Summer is the rest of the world's travels. Transportation and destinations can be hot, crowded, and expensive. Old money and Elizabeth would have none of that. The second thing Elizabeth would do is research. She'll go online or to the library and read voraciously about the City of Lights. She'll make a list of the things she absolutely must see and do, how much time she's going to allocate for each. She could spend weeks in the Louvre, but not this trip. She'll prioritize these and then look at the calendar. She has 7 places that she wants to visit in Paris and 10 actual days in the city. That leaves a part of each day to explore, get lost, and feel the magic, leaving 2 or 3 days for all important, unplanned, and unexpected surprises. The itinerary for her trip will begin to take shape. She'll make note of any dates that her must-see venues are closed, how she can acquire event tickets, and best times to visit. The third thing Elizabeth would do is reach out. She'll mention her plans for her travels to friends, colleagues, and family she can trust. If someone's going to poo-poo your dreams, don't share. And actually, to hell with them. She'll ask questions. Have you ever been to Paris? Do you know others who have? What did you see and do? What did you say? Do you have any regrets? What would you do or see again? And most importantly, do you know anyone who lives there? Elizabeth may be referred to a travel agent. The travel agent can assist in booking flights and hotels, as well as advising others on what to see and do. Elizabeth has a very simple, straightforward plan. One destination, one flight, one place to stay. She may or may not need the assistance of a travel agent for this trip, but establishing a relationship with a local, inexperienced travel agent is always. She may or may not have the need. She may or may not need the assistance of a travel agent for this trip, but establishing a relationship with a local, experienced travel agent is always a good thing. When the vast majority of the public travels, they follow guidebooks, they take guided tours, take pictures of the landmarks and monuments, and stay pretty much on the beaten path. Good for them. But Elizabeth has an adventuresome spirit. She just wants to see Paris. But more than that, she wants to experience Paris. And that is done best by connecting with someone who lives there. The internet is obviously a great way to make this connection, but the old money is the way to make this connection is through personal relationships. A friend of a friend in a place she wants to visit is worth more weight in gold. These friends can, at best, provide a safe and economical place to stay during the visit, but Elizabeth doesn't expect or ask them to do that. The very least they can do, which would be incredibly helpful to her, is advise. This is good because I have friends from other countries, and they visit me, and I always offer them a place to stay. My place. Yep. When a friend of a friend puts Elizabeth in touch with a resident, native or otherwise, of Paris, Elizabeth will send an email or make a phone call. She will learn a few words or more of French and use them in her correspondence or as a greeting in her conversation. She will inquire about economical, safe, and clean accommodations in the city. These may be hotel rooms or bed and breakfast establishments. She will have made her budget and looked online, so when the friend of a friend mentions something in the 16th arrondissement in Paris, she will know where that is and what she can afford. Elizabeth will be gracious and appreciative of the information she receives. She will send a thank you note to the friend who refers her to this friend in Paris and to the friend who lives in Paris. This is the end of her relationship with the friend in Paris. It is the beginning. It's not the end. It may be 9 to 12 months before Elizabeth visits Paris, but she will be speaking, hopefully with several friends of friends who live there. As her plans to visit the city take shape and crystallize, she will keep them informed, not constantly, but occasionally, thoughtfully. Elizabeth will reserve her place to stay and have a few alternates just in case. She will have considered apartments with small kitchens so she can cook meals and save money. She will also have considered rooms that rent mostly to students, many of which less expensive when rented on a weekly basis. She'll want the place to be safe, clean, and more than anything, when you're in Paris, who spends time in the room? Wait, let me see. She'll want this place to be safe and clean more than anything. When you're in Paris, who spends time in the room? She will have purchased her plane ticket well in advance to get the best fare. She'll be going in March, before the crowds. It will be chilly and might rain, but who cares about the rain? She'll be in Paris. She'll know how she's going to travel from the airport to her accommodations and who will meet her when she arrives. She is prepared and looking forward to the trip. More importantly, Elizabeth will have at least one and hopefully several friends of friends that she can meet and spend some time with while she visits Paris. She will budget money to bring in gifts from America to them, and she will buy them a meal as a way of saying thanks. She will have learned more French and will make her best efforts to greet them in other provisions in their native tongue. If she is lucky, she will probably be fortunate, blessed those who prepare. These new friends will show her at Paris she had never seen or experienced otherwise. She will buy a few souvenirs. She will take many pictures. Elizabeth will see the sights that all tourists see. She will also buy fresh fruits and vegetables at the weekly street markets. She will see an opera. She will discover her favorite cafe, and by the time she is there, she will fancy herself a regular. She will explore bookstores. She will linger in the parks, and yes, along the way, sing after dark. In the short, Elizabeth will have the time of her life. And she is polite, and if she makes an effort, she too will not have friends in Paris. Helpful hints. When you return from your trip, you give yourself 1 day to recover before you go back to work. Drink plenty of water on long flights. Every major city has places you don't want to be late at night. Know them, avoid them. American Express is a traveler's best friend. If you can get a card, do so. Use it only for emergencies and travel. Guinness is not for emergency. Use the traveler's check when it makes sense and advise them on your travel plans. Make use of their resources. Know their offices in the cities you plan to visit. Dress neatly and conservatively when you visit other cities. Do not wear warm-up suits and sneakers. Greet shopkeepers and restaurateurs in their native language. Smile. Do not speak or talk loudly in dining establishments. Eat everything on your plate. Do not ask for a doggy bag. I beg to differ. I always ask for a doggy bag. Sometimes, if my portions are larger. Actually, I went out this past weekend and I did not get a doggy bag, so that's good. Do not get drunk. You embarrass yourself and you become a target for criminals. If women do not approach you seductively in your own country, beware when they do so in a foreign country. If you wake up with all your clothes and money missing, don't say you weren't warned. Use a money belt. Gentlemen, wear a blazer or a jacket. It will be useful for evenings out, even in the most casual settings. Ladies, bring something to cover your shoulders. It may be cool in the evenings and may be required to visit some religious buildings. Everybody, easy on the short pants. Walk everywhere if you can. Take a bus or train if necessary. If all else fails, take a taxi. You'll save money and you'll see more this way. Attend a religious service in the city you're visiting. Don't be so busy taking pictures that you don't experience your trip. When you travel, have a plan for the morning and follow it. Explore and be spontaneous in the afternoon. Send postcards to friends, family, and yourself. Find a place to buy healthy snacks in the city or area you're visiting. Find a grocery store or street market and explore food options. Avoid expensive, substandard food at museums and near popular landmarks. Enjoy a good meal once a day during your trip. Eat with the locals in your neighborhood establishments. For reference, Father's Travels Guides, Farmer's Travels Guides, DK Eyewitness Travels Guides. The Relationship, an experienced travel agent. Page 138. Staff versus services. My iPad is still on 10%. I was going to plug my mic back up, but I won't be able to plug my mic back up. We're on page 138 of 141 pages. Our goal was to read this entire book for this live. That is very important. Reading is definitely exercising my memory. I paused this book because I stopped and started reading the other book that's on my Kindle, which I will continue to read. I'm 50% done with it, and I will continue to read that book after I'm done with this book. And it's on my Kindle right here. Staff versus services. Quote, people can put on airs. If you want to know who someone really is, ask their servants. End quote. OMG in Virginia. Old Money makes the best use of its time and money by hiring competent staff rather than paying retail for services. Many people take their shirts to the dry cleaners to have them washed and ironed. They go out to restaurants frequently because with 2 working adults in the family, who wants to cook every night? And they waste their weekends cleaning the house, hopefully, wink nod, and doing laundry. Old Money hires a maid to clean the house, do the laundry, and perhaps cook 1 or 2 meals a week, which can be reheated if there are leftovers, saving money and freeing up time to enjoy life on the weekends. If you're just starting out or starting over, staff may be down the list of priorities. Once you establish yourself, consider hiring a maid to clean your residence once a week. Get referrals. Speak with a few candidates. Ask for references. Hire one of them. Pay her fairly and treat her kindly. Be articulate in your instructions and expectations. Compliment her on the things she's doing correctly so she'll continue to do them. Ask politely if there's something you don't want done or would like done differently. After work is done and she's leaving, thank her sincerely. Lock valuables in a space. Lock valuables in a safe place if you're away while work is done. Respect is given instantly and universally. Trust is earned over time. Let's not tempt anyone. Never accuse a staff member of stealing. If something is missing, ask if the maid has seen it. If the response strikes you as hesitant or evasive, beware. If the item in question is extremely valuable, file a police report. Let the police speak to your maid. Explain to your maid that you've done this and the police may be contacting her as a part of their investigation. Keep it impersonal and unprofessional. Later in life, with more resources at your disposal, you may have professional staff to assist you with running your residence and your life. The more educated and competent your staff, the more enjoyable and productive your life. Note that a courteous, well-trained, and efficient staff is more impressive than mere material possessions. We have made it to the end of the book. If you have been here for the entire live, put a red heart in the chat. Put a red heart in the chat. Yep, we are on the last page. We're on the summary of the book. We are on the summary of the book, page 41 to 42. It has 142 pages. I kept saying 141 pages. It said 141 pages. It's actually 142 pages. Bonus page. Put a heart in the chat if you read it. I mean, you've been here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We are on the summary of the book. Summary of the book. Yes. Yes, this is amazing. We are at the end of the book. I'm so happy. Like, again, if you would like to copy or purchase this book and read on your own timing, or get the book, read the first 58 pages, and then join the live and read the book with me, that would be cool. This is called The Old Money Book, How to Live Better While Spending Less, Secrets to America's Upper Class, Byron Tilley. Yep. So we're in the summary, page 141. This is the last page. We're going to read it. Summary, 141. Page 141. Old money represents a set of values that prioritizes modesty over display. Old money represents a set of values that prioritizes modesty over display, investment over consumption, work over idleness, and refinement over brashness. It believes in delaying gratification in order to achieve long-term, worthwhile goals. Old money does not wear its politics, religion, or net worth on its sleeve. It does not hate those who may hold different opinions. Old money does not believe greed is good. Old money is affluent and joyful because it uses its resources wisely and prioritizes for the long term. In lieu of incurrent expenses when just starting in life, OMGs live at home, work, and save money. In lieu of a lavish wedding, OMGs hold a modest ceremony later in life and save money. In lieu of buying a home at the beginning of a life together, OMGs rent, not spending money on a down payment, and save money. In lieu of a random large number of children early in life, OMGs plan pregnancies, start families later, limit the number of children, and save money. In making these 4 simple life-changing choices, old money creates the very real possibility of having and preserving a substantial nest egg early in life. With the money it saves, old money focuses on the quality of its own life as opposed to a perceived standard of living. In the security, health, and education of its children. When old money inherits money from relatives, it saves that money too. If it inherits properties, It carefully assessed the best thing to do with it. Hold it and rent it out, sell it and save the money or improve it, move into it and use it as a residence. Old money does not waste money on cheap, fashionable clothes. Old money does not waste money. Old money does not waste money on consumer electronics. Old money has its money while others have the latest gadget. Old money does not buy new cars, new houses, or new furniture, a bed being the exception. Old money repairs, reuses, and refurbishes. OMGs earn consistently and spend wisely, slowly, and discreetly. OMGs focus on self improvement and life enjoyment rather than the acquisition of material things. OMGs invest for the long term but enjoys life to the fullest each day. Old money may not be an easy philosophy to adopt and adhere to, but it's rewarding, both personally and financially. It benefits the practitioner, the family, the community in which they reside. It makes survival possible and prosperity probable. The suggestions in this book provide a no nonsense, step by step approach to creating a bright future and fulfilling life for almost anyone of any position. The hope is that fundamentals are digested, adapted to each reader's personal situation, and put into practice. Please join us. Old Money Loves Company. I've lost like 3 likes. I don't know if y'all disliked the video or what. I'm not sure what happened there. But I am appreciative of all 220 of you all who have liked my video. I am thankful for you all for listening to me read this book. I can now officially, y'all keep taking your likes back. I don't know what's going on. But I am very happy that I had the opportunity to read this book. If you don't have this book, I encourage you to get it, read it, apply the information, as will I. And that is going to be it. I will see you soon.